Hello, gamers. You're listening to the Short Pause Gaming Podcast. This is episode number 114. And welcome back to another edition of the Short Pause Gaming Podcast. I'm Brent Felsing, and as you can see tonight, the whole panel is back. Ben Boyce, Frankie Ayler, Bender Holt. Guys, we're all back together again. For like 3 or 4 weeks, it was just some of us, not all of us, just two of us. But today, we're all back. How you guys doing? Boyce, what's good with you?
Doing good, man. Ready to talk some games with you fine chaps.
I see you're recording from your suite in Florida. Boy, that Short Pause dollar's going a long way, dude.
Yeah, you know, I finally bought that beach house I was waiting to get. I'm on a little makeshift setup here as I've been displaced from my normal digs. So we're making it work though.
Awesome. Frankie, I missed you, buddy.
It's been a while.
What's going on? How you doing?
Here.
You here? All right, you got the beard back. The beard is in full force.
Beard's back.
What else is new, man? Come on, talk to me. I miss you. I missed you.
Not much. I rediscovered my love with the Asiago Ranch spicy chicken sandwich at Wendy's.
Ooh.
That's kind of your fault. You were talking about this zinger thing at KFC,
which is not
Bender
nearly
said,
as good as the Wendy's.
Yeah, everyone said it was a letdown. The jalapeno fresco's still not out. I need something to fill the gap, so I was like, go back to the old classic.
I tell you what, if it wasn't frowned upon, I'd make love to that sandwich. It's that good. Bender, what's up with you, buddy?
Oh, not too much. Working, took Friday off just because.
Wait, why? What happened on Friday?
Yeah, don't just say just because. Yeah. Everybody listening to the show knows.
Man, how do I get that Bender schedule, man?
Man, I know, right?
I took off Friday just because.
So you woke up. Did you digitally download the game or did you go buy it physically?
I went and bought it physically.
Okay, so you woke up, went to the store, probably skipped the shower, bought the game, stopped at McDonald's on your way home, got like 10 breakfast burritos because that's what I would have done, and then just played Mario Kart all day. That's the best life. I envy you.
I don't think he put pants on at any point in between any of that either.
Oh, jeez. I hope there were no kids at Best Buy. Good God.
That's cool.
That could have been nasty. But, no, it's good to see you guys back. We got a full show. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Boys, let's get into these new releases, man. What's coming out this week?
Let's get into it. Nowhere near as many titles to discuss this week as in the last few weeks.
Yes.
But still some good stuff to discuss nonetheless. Let's start things off with the PlayStation Plus lineup for May. So this has been revealed. We have Tales from the Borderlands coming to the PlayStation 4 alongside Abzu. Blood Knights is coming over to PS3 alongside Port Royale 3, Pirates and Merchants. And on the Vita side of things, we have 2 cross-buy titles. Both of these titles will also be available for the PlayStation 4. Laser Disco Defenders and Type Rider. So I'm no mathematician, but that's 4 games for the PlayStation 4, 2 games for the PlayStation 3, and 2 games for the Vita. So let's run around the horn here, fellas. Brent, your thoughts on this list?
It's a good list. I've never played Tales from the Borderlands, but I already bought it, so naturally that's cool. Abzu is a really beautiful game. That's really, really good. Never played Blood Knights, Port Royale. Anything that comes to PlayStation 3 is just obsolete to me. I do not own Laser Disco Defenders. There's a game I don't own on Plus, so I'm looking forward to trying that out. And then Type Rider, I've never played that either, so I get 2 games this month that I have not played or bought.
Both of those actually look really cool as well. Laser Disco Defenders looks awesome. It's a game I've had my eye on for a while. I didn't buy it when it came out, so psyched that that's coming to Plus. It's not a very old title. It's only been out for a couple months. So very cool if that's going to be here. Looks like that's going to be a fun one on the Vita. Typewriter is almost in the vein of Typo Man. You're not an actual man. You're this kind of figure going through these puzzle levels. It deals with words and word puzzles. So it's actually a pretty cool looking game. So I'm kind of interested in that one as well. Interesting thing about Blood Knights too is it's a Deck 13 game. Now, these are the guys who did Lords of the Fallen and the Surge, right?
Mhm.
They're doing the Surge. It's
Mhm.
going to come out in the near future. So pretty cool that as their new game is about to come out for next gen consoles in the Surge, it'll be out in a couple weeks. Blood Knights coming out, which I'm guessing is one of their first titles early in the PS3 360 gen. Actually, kind of a cool looking action game as well, which I haven't played before. Frankie, what do you think about this list?
I'm with Brent. Of course, I played through Tales from the Borderlands. It's maybe one of my favorite Telltale series, so totally worth checking out. I had picked up Abzu as well when that came out. I think it was part of one of the other cool promotions that they did. So
Yeah, it was part of the Play promotion last year, I think.
that's what I thought. So I picked that up then. So I played some of that already. It's really great, especially if you love Journey. And like Brent, I didn't pick up these other two games that are cross-buy. So when you mentioned the one that's like Typo Man, I'll probably want to fire that up. I have Typo Man still sitting here that I really want to play. So what's one more game like that? Those look pretty cool.
Yeah, Temple Man's a good one. You'll dig that one. Not too long as well, so you'll be able to make your way through that in an afternoon probably. Bender, your thoughts on this list?
Looks like a good list. I'm happy that Abzu's on there because I never picked that one up, and that was one I was definitely interested in
Oh
checking
man,
out.
yeah,
Oh.
you'll like that one, dude.
Yeah, you'll get into that one. That's a really beautiful game. One I need to
Yeah.
finish. I need to finish that game.
Yeah, so definitely looking forward to that one. Typewriter looks pretty cool. Laser Disco Defenders looks pretty fast paced and frantic gameplay. So lots of good stuff. I never played Tales from the Borderlands, but I know Frankie has spoken highly of it before. So yeah, it looks like a pretty good list.
Yeah, Troy Baker on the main character on that one, right? So
I
always,
believe
always a
Laura
plus in my
Bailey
book.
as well.
Yeah, Laura Bailey, another name PlayStation fans know very well. So cool. Yeah, so cool list. These titles will be available starting this Tuesday when the PlayStation Store updates. So make sure you get in there and download those. Another solid month in my opinion. Let's get into the new releases now for this week, and we'll start things off with Prey, fellas. This is a Friday release. It's coming out May 5th. Coming both to digital and retail. Of course, this will be on the PS4 alongside the Xbox One and the PC as well. Now, man, I tell you, I don't know that I'm going to be able to play this week, but the more and more I read about this game, the more and more I hear about Prey, like the more awesome it sounds. Like to hear people talking about it and to watch some of the hands-on impressions, or not watch, but read some of the hands-on impressions, hear what people are experiencing in the title, and to just, I don't know, just every time I watch a gameplay trailer for this, I get more and more intrigued by it. Just the whole, the isolation on the space station, the strange alien enemy, and just, it's the latest in this long line of Bethesda first-person games, narrative-based games that have been really excellent by all accounts. If you go off what critics and fans are saying, so I expect Prey to be really really good. It's actually a game I'm super interested in. I just don't know that I'm gonna be able to play it. Frankie, you've got this one pre-ordered. You've been high on Prey for a long time now. What are your thoughts now that this game is imminent this Friday?
Thinking that I'm gonna pull a Bender on Friday and not go to work. I got it. I got it download. It's actually just finished downloading a couple minutes ago, so I'm preloaded. I'm ready for midnight Thursday night to hop into this game, and I'm excited. Like ever since that awesome E3 prediction of mine last year, seeing this game come back, it's one of the ones that I've been watching closely. Didn't play the demo. I figure it's coming out a week before the game. Why would I want to start playing an hour and then suffer for a week not playing it? So, yeah, really excited. I can't wait to get in there. I'll probably do a stream, midnight launch party stream this week for it.
Oh boy, teaser.
So, look out for that.
So that's good to know. Brent, when I see this game, man, I feel like this is something right up your alley. What are your thoughts on this game as we stand right now?
I played a little bit of the demo. And
A little bit of the demo.
Yeah, I didn't play the whole thing because my son ended up getting sick, so I had to go
Okay.
upstairs and take care of it mid game. But it is it plays very much like a Dishonored game in terms of some of the controls using and actually some of the abilities. There's you can tell Dishonored rubbed off on this game. And even the HUD, the way objectives show up, it reminds me of Dishonored quite a bit.
Well, it is just for
It's
for-
Arcane Studios, so
Yeah, it's the team that made the first Dishonored is the team that's making Prey. So it makes sense that those tropes would show up here as well.
yeah. And from what little I played early on, very interesting game. I wouldn't say it was like really really scary, but I'm sure they're not going to show everything in the first hour. But gameplay felt good. The game ran great. I was playing on the PS4 Pro, ran very smooth. And it's got an interesting story. It's a very intriguing tale. Like I said, I didn't get to play a lot of it, but from what I have played, I'm very interested in this game. But I'm not picking it up this week. I'm going to wait to see what Frankie has to say, and then hopefully maybe get to it sometime later this month.
One of the most interesting things I've heard about this game is this mechanic of you losing your humanity as you go through the game here, and some of the ways that it changes the way you play the game. So you can actually, you have upgrade trees that you can upgrade as you're going through this game, and some of them focus on various aspects of your character. But there's one particular branch of the tree that makes you less human the more you tap into it, and it taps into like some of the aliens' abilities. And as you continue to upgrade this tree, you descend further and further into this kind of alien path that you're taking your character down, and you can actually get to the point where the enemy recognizes you as one of the aliens, so to speak. One of the examples they used is that there's like a turret system in the game that fires on the aliens if they come into range in it. And if you go down this upgrade path and you upgrade your character so much that he loses his humanity and ventures into this alien side of the character, those turrets will actually start firing on you.
Oh wow!
Because you're kind of taking on this alien aspect as you go on. So that's really really interesting to me. I don't know that I've ever seen a game tackle a mechanic quite that way. So I feel like there's going to be some really really cool systems at play here. Some of the light RPG elements are going to be really interesting. The mimic ability, obviously you're going up against these mimic alien characters, but the whole mimicking items, and that's a really interesting mechanic as well. So there's a lot of stuff under the hood of this game that I find really really intriguing, that like I said, the more I read about it and the more I hear about some of the stuff in this game, I'm like man, like this would be a sweet game to play. I just don't know that I'm gonna be able to. Bender, I wouldn't classify this as a horror game. It has some like it's more of like a thriller, I think. Is probably the best way to put it. It's got some sci-fi elements. It's got some dark elements. Where's your interest lie in this game?
My interest has gone up as the more I've heard about it, kind of like you were saying. And I've heard people talk about what you were talking about with that alien thing, and like how they'll start to recognize you as an enemy. And I thought that sounded really cool as well. So I mean, when I first heard about this game, I was like kind of meh about it. But the more I've heard about it, the more interested I've become. So I definitely want to check out the demo and see if it's something that I could get into. And like Felson was saying, I might wait and see what the reviews say and what Frankie says, and see what kind of people are thinking about it. And if it sounds like it's a good game, then I'd be more inclined to pick it up. But I do have an interest in it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm expecting this one to score pretty well and to be a pretty solid title. So we'll see when the embargo lifts. Not sure when that is, but we'll find out this Friday when the game comes out. Once again, digitally and retail, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. All right, let's move on from there, fellas, to Super Rude Bear Resurrection. Now, this is a game we talked about a week or so ago on the podcast, and I'm gonna fire this one up on the Indie Spotlight this week.
Yes.
Now look, I've played some hard games on the Indie Spotlight since its inception. Super Rude Bear Resurrection could potentially be the hardest game I've ever tried to play on the Tuesday night Indie Spotlight. I mean, this game just looks absolutely brutal. It's got Meat Boy's kind of DNA running all through its design, and it's just it looks like an insanely difficult platforming game. In so much that the developers, the small development team that they are, they've offered to give anybody who can beat this game without dying $1,000. So, they're pretty confident that nobody's gonna be able to make it through this game without dying. So that gives you an idea of how difficult this game is going to get. It gets easier the more and more you die, because you're bare body is kind of left in the place that it died. So, for instance, if you were to have an axe that you couldn't get past, and it's like a swinging axe that hit your character, like your dead body would remain on that axe. So the next time you came across it, it would no longer be sharp. There'd just be a body there that was hitting you. So, and that's kind of the way like the spikes work in the game too. If you were to die on a spike, like your body will be there. So basically, that's like a platform you could jump on to get through those spikes. So it's a really interesting mechanic. I like the art style in it. Despite its assured difficulty, I'm actually really looking forward to playing this game. Brent, you watch any gameplay from this, man? What are your thoughts on Super Rude Bear Resurrection?
Dude, I haven't watched any gameplay. I just want to see you play this, dude. I just meltdown confirmed already. I'm telling you, there's going to be an age gate on this video once the stream is done. So make sure you watch it live while there's no age gate, because after that, you're going to have to be 18 or older to watch the video. I guarantee you, boys. This mild-mannered gentleman right here is going to lose his shit, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix Furia,
Oh.
Fly Wrench.
Yes.
I mean, I've played some tough games. So Frankie, when I tell you that this could be the toughest game I've ever tackled on the Tuesday Night Indie Spotlight, how does that make you feel, man?
It's probably gonna go on my game of the year list with Fire Wrench. I've never played it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I actually enjoy some of these challenging games, especially Super Meat Boy is one of my favorites. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that stream. I like getting the text from Brent. He's like, "Dude, it's happening! It's happening! The meltdown confirmed!" Like, yeah, yes,
It's the best of
The best.
times.
it is.
Yeah. So, Bender, you gonna be there, joining the fun and frivolity?
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out. I saw the trailer of this game, and it does look ridiculously, insanely difficult.
Yeah.
But I do love that mechanic that you die and then your body is still there and you can use it as like a human shield or a bear shield. So like he was like there was like a missile that killed him, and then he came back and he was like pushing his body through to block the missiles. It's like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, some pretty cool mechanics at play. So yeah, even though this is going to be painfully difficult, I'll die a million times. I may throw some profanity in and break stuff, but I'm still really looking forward to playing this game. If this game is done properly and it feels like Meat Boy and it's got this really cool death mechanic and it's quick where I can just quickly hop back into a level when I die or mess up, this is going to be a great game. So really looking forward to this one. That'll be Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel. Just search out Short Pause Gaming on YouTube. We'll tweet out the links and all that good stuff as well. And you can watch me die in Super Rude Bear Resurrection probably in the hundreds of times in the hour that I'm going to play the game. So stop on by. Let's move on from there. Another cool looking game this week is Tumbleseed. Well, this is a game we saw in that Nindies presentation for the Switch a little while back. It's described as a roguelike type of a game, but it's basically you have like some kind of a balance board and you're trying to move this seed through obstacles in this vertically or scrolling up or down levels. It's difficult to explain. Go check out a video that actually looks really cool. I'm interested in that one. So next on this list, fellas, is Nog. This is a game that's published by Double Fine. So I've seen a few trailers for this game, and it's a very intriguing looking game. I'm not quite sure how to describe this game. Bender, what kind of a game is this? Like what is Nog?
It's like a puzzle game, basically.
A puzzle game, okay.
Yeah, it's these kind of like monster heads, and you have to manipulate different things. They turn into these little dioramas that you have to do different things to solve puzzles and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So very very weird looking game, very colorful game though, very cool looking title. Also playable in VR as well, which is interesting. Bender, you're playing through this game. You're going to review it for the site. The embargo not yet lifted, so we can't talk about it on this show. But we'll be sure to get your thoughts on the next episode, and be sure you check out the website Tuesday when his review goes live, and we'll see what you thought about this game, man.
Yeah,
Looking
absolutely.
forward to it because it's a pretty cool looking title. All right, moving on from there, we got Flat Out 4: Total Insanity. This game looks cool, but it hasn't reviewed particularly well, so I don't know how this one's actually going to turn out. But this is the 4th iteration, so if you've been waiting for Flat Out to come back, your prayers have been answered. The PlayStation blog has this listed as a Thursday release, but everywhere else has this as a Friday release. So I'm gonna stick with the Friday release on this. If it comes out on Thursday, then it's a little bonus. But look for this one digitally and at retail this upcoming Friday. World to the West is a game we talked about on the last show. It's coming out this Friday. Very cool looking, kind of. I don't know if it's open world, but it's like a 3/4 view adventure game with a cast of different characters. Dreamfall Chapters, the long gestating adventure game, is finally making its way over to consoles this Friday, May 5th. This release will house all 5 chapters of the game that have been released thus far.
Nice.
Not sure if there's any more coming, but pretty heady looking title. There's some deep stuff that this game goes into. Arcade Archives Neo Geo Last Resort will be on the PS4 this week. AFL Evolution, which is the Australian Football League, which looks like some kind of mixture of rugby and football. So if you were jonesing to get a digital version of AFL, your hopes and dreams have been answered. So
Yes.
AFL Evolution is a Friday release this week. A couple of things we want to note here. Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series, the Season Pass disc release this week, which is still one of the most baffling things. I mean, I understand that Telltale wants to get their games into retail, and I get all that, but this just seems asinine. Like, why would you buy a disc version of a series that has 1 episode on it, and then you download all the rest of them? It's very weird. So that'll be out this week. Nier Automata is getting the 3C3C1D11944097 DLC. So this is what we talked about last week. Is got some new challenges. You can fight the boss of Square Enix. Get some new costumes, new missions and stuff coming to the game. So if you're a Nier fan, look out for that. Also on the Nier front, the Nier Automata costume DLC coming to Gravity Rush 2 as a free download. This actually looks badass. Like Cat looks badass in the Nier costume. I would recommend picking that up if you have Gravity Rush 2. Neo getting the Dragon of the North DLC. This is the first big DLC release for Neo. Adding some new missions, a new enemy to the game. This looks awesome. This game, people love this title, so I know many people are looking forward to this. Steep is getting the Winterfest DLC, which is adding some winter-themed challenges to the game. It's a Wednesday release. A couple of things that are out right now. Minecraft, the Glide Beast Track Pack DLC, and Brent, something we got to play through here in the near future, the Deathstorm Part 2 DLC. Kind of snuck out on me, at least. I didn't expect it to just kind of come out, and it's out, available now. I imagine we're gonna play through this pretty soon. We'll probably do a let's play of it.
I'm gonna throw this out there. This is tentative, but maybe Monday night do a stream.
All right, let's do it.
Boom.
So we'll get that up on the site shortly. Continue our Sniper Elite series there. Deathstorm Part 1 was pretty cool. It was more of the same. Sniper Elite 4 that we really liked earlier this year.
Did you see the setting for this one?
No, where is it?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know exactly where, but the visuals are much more vibrant. It's just a beautiful looking setting. It's like it's almost near dusk. It's late afternoon or early evening. The sun's setting. Just looks beautiful from what I saw in the screenshots.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it, man. I'm always down for some more Sniper Elite 4. So that's going to do it for the PS4 releases. On the VR front, we talked about Nog. On the PS3, the Minecraft Glide Beast Track Pack is available now. And on the Vita, the Caligula Effect, which is kind of a cool-looking Atlas RPG. It's coming over to the system this week. So check that one out if you are an RPG fan. Looks like a modern type of RPG. Some of these snazzy like JRPGs that we've seen recently, like a Persona type of a thing. It's obviously it's not Persona, but it's got that kind of vibe to it. So pretty cool looking. If you're an RPG fan, check that one out. All right, let's get into Xbox now. Of course, coming on Friday, like we talked about, is Prey on May 5th. Planet Base is a Wednesday release. This is a real-time strategy game, kind of building a colony on Mars or whatever, and helping your colony to survive. That'll be out May 3rd, Wednesday. I think it's $20. Arcade Archives Neo Geo Alpha Mission 2 is available now. Missed that one last week. Flat Out 4 is coming over to the system on Friday, alongside World to the West and Save the Ninja Clan, which is I believe it was a phone title at one point. It's a budget title. Actually, a cool looking title. Reminds me a little bit of 10 Second Ninja X, but on if that were like a whole entire level instead of just a quick burst platforming section. So that's a Friday release. Bit Dungeon Plus is a roguelike dungeon crawler. That'll be out Friday, May 5th. AFL Evolution is a Friday release on the system. The Guardians of the Galaxy Season Pass disc will be out on the Xbox One on Tuesday. The Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13 Fame and Strategy expansion pack is available now on the Xbox One. Steep's Winterfest DLC will be out on Wednesday over there as well. And just a note here, Halo Wars 2 Colony DLC available now. We talked about the delay on it on the last show. It is now available for your consumption. And then a couple other things. Minecraft Glide Beast Track Pack, Sniper Elite 4, Death Storm Part 2, both available now on the Xbox side of things. On Nintendo, what we missed last week for the Switch, Arcade Archives Neo Geo Overtop. You can grab that for $7.99 as we speak. And this week coming to the Switch, we talked about Tumbleseed. Once again, saw that on the Nindies presentation. Cool looking title. It'll be available for $15 this Tuesday. On the Wii U, what we missed last week, Absolutely Unstoppable Mine Run is a $3.99 eShop title. And the Minecraft Glide Beast Track Pack is over there as well. This week, Triple Breakout. Shocking, a Breakout clone on the eShop this week. Is on there for $4.99. 15 is a $1.49 eShop title, and a actually really cool looking game that has some Castlevania vibes. Citadel, the Legends trilogy, is on there on Thursday for $9. Fortunately, it's going out there to die. But if that game wants to come to another platform that people are actually playing, that one might actually have a shot. The 3DS didn't miss anything last week. This week, Triple Breakouts over there as well, alongside Infinite Golf. Brent, take it away, my friend.
Boom, that's it. Thank God, not 50 titles like the last couple of weeks shows. So awesome, manageable week here, guys. Let's do a quick round the horn of what we've been playing. First up, let's do a group chat. We played a little bit of it. Obviously, we don't want to dive too much in it, but there's a lot we got to explore still. But let's talk about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Bender, as the big fan of the series, what's your initial impressions of the Switch version compared to the Wii U?
I love it. It's pretty great so far. It has all the great, racing and everything. It has all the content from Mario Kart 8, all the DLC characters and the DLC tracks and everything, which is great. Plus, they fixed the battle mode, which is what I really, really wanted. I was hoping it was going to be good, and it is good. I've talked about it before. The battle mode was very disappointing in Mario Kart 8 because you're playing on these racetracks, and it's not fun to try to drive around in a circle on a racetrack and try to find someone. No, you need battle arenas. So they came up with brand new courses, battle arenas. Some of them are classic ones from previous games. Some of them are all new ones. And they're really good. They're really well designed, and the modes are all fun. There's like 5 different modes, I think, for battle, and they're all really fun. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the game so far. I'm going through and trying to get 3 stars on all the cups again, even though I already did that on the Wii U. So, I love doing it, and it's fun to play online and stuff like that. So I think I had a lot of fun with our stream that we did with us and JD. It was good times. So hopefully we'll get to do that some more. And since Frankie's getting the game, hopefully he'll be able to jump in and play with us too.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing. Frankie did pick up Mario Kart 8 just today, so he hasn't had a chance to hop in there yet. So Frankie, we'll get your thoughts on it next week. Boyce, what was your takeaway from when we streamed it the other night?
I had a lot of fun with it. It's a fun game. Mario Kart's always been a great title. Each iteration that I've played, I've liked. Even the much maligned Wii version, I thought was fun. So, but yeah, it's a great version of Mario Kart from what I played. I didn't take Friday off, and like some people on this podcast, and play through the game. But no, I got to play it with you guys. That was my first exposure to the game. So I hadn't played it on the Wii U. So this is all like brand new stuff to me, and for a lot of people that have a Switch, this is probably going to be their first exposure to the game. There's obviously a lot of Nintendo fans that picked up the system and had the game previously, but I imagine there's still a lot of people like myself who are jumping into it for the first time, experiencing Mario Kart 8 for the first time. So we get a proper battle mode, which I didn't get to experience the messed up battle mode, but I read about it. It sounded terrible. So happy to see the battle mode. Like, this is the battle mode I remember from Super Nintendo, like going all the way back. Like, this is that kind of battle mode. So happy to see that's in the game. That was a lot of fun. The racetracks are fun. outside of the stream that we did. I fired it up on the handheld, played some on there to see how it ran on there. It runs great on the handheld as well as on the TV, so that's awesome to see. It's the online seemed like it worked fine. We didn't have any connection issues or anything, so all that was pretty straightforward. So it's a really fun game so far. I'm looking forward to playing some more of it, and I don't really have any complaints on my end. It's been awesome so far.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I've really enjoyed it. I love it I love it in handheld mode. I mean, it seriously runs great in handheld mode. Having that 60 frames, 720p on the screen that size looks great. The game runs smooth. The online worked great when I was playing at work on my break. I was up in the break room, and we have Wi-Fi in there, and I hopped on for a couple matches, jumped into it. I'm in a tournament right now, and that's really fun. There's actually a lot to do there in terms of like the time trials and downloading your buddy's ghosts so you can get a challenge. And Bender and I were kind of going back and forth today on Water Park. That was really, really fun. So there's a lot to do in that game. And I know this is probably going to sound crazy, and if you guys disagree, that's fine. But between this and Breath of the Wild, I don't know what it is. I think Mario Kart just pops off the screen more. I think it looks better than Breath of the Wild. Not saying that Breath of the Wild isn't a good-looking game, but when I sit there and I watch Mario Kart 8 on this handheld or even on the big screen, I just think it looks better. It's just a more visually appealing game to me. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on that in terms of the visual. I just think it looks gorgeous. I think it's a beautiful-looking game in motion, and it just really stood out to me more than Breath of the Wild. Even though Breath of the Wild is a fine-looking game on the Switch, I think Mario Kart 8 has just more pizzazz to it.
Well, it's definitely a much more colorful game, and the fact that you're moving so fast, and the everything, the graphics just pop, and it looks really, really good. I can see what you're saying there. I mean, I don't fault you for saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Zelda's a beautiful looking game for what it is. It's an open world game on the Switch. Obviously, it can't run as well as Mario Kart because there's so much to do. But just for if I were to look at both games, you're like, man, this one just really stands out because it just looks beautiful. It's fast motion, like you said, it's really smooth, runs great. But overall, I think it's a great game. It's a lot of fun, and I look forward to playing with you guys some more. And as Bender mentioned, we streamed it the other night, a Let's Play with JD from the Play and Listen Gaming podcast. Check that out. It's on YouTube right now. Short Pause Gaming. Give it a look. See, it's a great video. We had a lot of fun playing battle mode, even though Bender cheated.
You guys just got to get good, man.
Bender
Frank blows up real nice,
Genie.
though.
What's that?
Brent blows up really nice. I don't know if you guys
my
watched
God.
the stream. Man,
Just
nice
totally
grenade,
grenaded
man.
myself with the bomber guy. Now, Frankie, I want to ask you. So you just picked it up today. How much did watching that game in action and seeing us play? How much did that influence your decision? I'm just curious.
I mean, if you guys are going to actively be playing it, the battle mode looks like a battle mode I actually want to play.
Mm-hmm.
So that alone is why I picked it up because, knowing you guys had fun with it, you're probably going to be playing a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to sit on my shelf like something like Overwatch did, past tense. So
Yeah, it's gone.
it was gone. I picked it up. So I'm ready. Whenever.
Awesome. Looking forward to getting you out there, man. It'll be a good
I'll
time.
be
We'll do
playing
another
it,
stream.
Frankie. I'll definitely be playing it.
So I gotta ask, what were you using for party chat? How does this work? What did you do? Tell me all your secrets.
Well, what we had to do in order to get that, obviously, because the Switch doesn't have party chat right now, we use the Discord app, and we have that. I have that on my laptop that I use for streaming, and so I had the Elgato capturing the gameplay. There's the Elgato sound capture software that you can download as well, and that captures the Discord. And that runs it in through the Elgato, and then obviously it's capturing my mic. So it's got my voice, it's got our discussion back and forth on Discord, and that's how we got through the stream. I know that sounds very confusing, but it's going to be very similar to how we're going to be doing it when we get the phone app. It's almost like we were just using Discord on our phones to talk while we were streaming.
So like, what were you using for a headset? Like, were you writing it off your phone? Were you writing it off the computer? Like, what were you guys doing?
I didn't hear the game because I was wearing these headphones, talking in through this mic into the Elgato, and then the Discord was going there. So I didn't even get to hear gameplay.
I don't think any of us heard the game.
Well, I had my game turned up, but it was coming out of my TV. I had it turned down real low, so we couldn't pick it up on the game audio. But I was using my iPhone earbuds, just had it plugged into my phone. That's what I was using to chat with the guys, and I was just playing the game with my earphones in.
It was kind of confusing to set up for a stream.
I see. So I can't use my USB mic. I gotta use my Xbox headset.
Well, you could actually, if you wanted to, Frankie, you could there's a Discord app that you could put on your laptop. So if you have your laptop open just set to the side while you're playing it, you could just run your regular earbuds with the mic into the app on your computer, and you'd be able to talk to us.
Okay.
But yeah, it was kind of a goof to set up, but it was fun overall once we got it working properly.
They need to figure out something for this. I just hope that the solution they have is much more elegant than the solution that we came up with, because it was absurd. Like I had my Pro controller, which was dying, plugged into my laptop, which was sitting on a computer next to me. My phone is like sitting on the chair, and I'm like too far away from it, so I need to go find an earbud, talk into the mic. The earbud's hanging out of my ear. I can't hear the game because the TV's turned on all the way. So I would like to be able to hear the game audio. I would imagine that when they get this phone app, it's going to sync up with your Switch, and the game audio will at least be coming through your phone or something.
It has to,
so that you can hear the game. Yeah. Because it's cool to talk to you guys, but I want to hear the game as I'm playing it. Like I don't want to hear a faint woohoo like as coming out of the TV as every now and then. But yeah, I mean, even with all that, it's still a lot of fun. We tease Bender for cheating and like taking the day off and stuff, but he's just better than us. So we just gotta. I'm coming for you, Bender. I'm gonna get my skills up and race you.
You guys, Mario Kart is my game. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but that is like
you done learned.
Yeah. That is like the game. Like I suck at like first person shooters. I suck at a lot of different types of games, but like Mario Kart is always the game that I'm pretty good at. I mean, I'm not saying I win every time, but I win a lot of the time.
I like that picture that you sent in Discord to the group chat of like, hey, keep practicing so this doesn't happen again. It just shows the road map.
Dude, that was
Bender on the other side of the map, and the rest of us like way behind.
I was halfway around the map when it was like the second lap, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. It was just an absolute demolishing. So, but overall, we liked it.
You, man. I'm learning all those boost tricks and
do it, man. I'll give you guys pointers if you want. I don't care.
Man,
not all
the
pointers.
Gives you pointers
wink,
during
wink.
battle mode.
The
if you do this, you'll see the item.
Yeah,
I told you that.
I told you guys about the mushroom. I was like, yeah, if you can steal an item from someone if you, or you can steal a balloon from someone if you use a mushroom. And then I was like, I shouldn't have told you that.
Giving away trade secrets, nice. So yeah, that's Mario Kart 8. We'll definitely be streaming that again. We'll get the goofy set up just so you can hear us all talking and stuff. But boys, let's quick talk about the Tuesday night indie spotlight from last week.
Yeah, so the Tuesday night indie spotlight this past week was Shovel Knight: Specter of Torment, which is a game I've been waiting a long time for. We've talked about this to death on the show, but I love Shovel Knight. It's one of my favorite like retro inspired games, probably ever. But it just in and of itself, it's just a great game. It's a ton of fun to play. It's just the mechanics and the way it feels they're just so spot on. And in my opinion, we lost a little bit of that with Plague Knight. He was difficult to control. He wasn't as easy to get into. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a DLC that I really could do much with because I just thought Plague Knight was difficult to play with. However, I was watching video of Specter Knight prior to the release of Specter of Torment, and it just looked awesome. Like, it looked more like the Shovel Knight experience that I had grown accustomed to and the Shovel Knight experience that I loved. And when I finally got into Specter of Torment this past Tuesday and got to fire it up, it just instantly felt a million times better than Plague Knight. I instantly felt like I was playing a Shovel Knight game again. It had that great feel to it. Specter Knight's a ton of fun to play. He even though it feels like Shovel Knight, he plays much differently than Shovel Knight. Mm-hmm. So he's a fast-paced character. He has nice mobility and a nice pizzazz about him, where Plague Knight was didn't necessarily have all that. But I love his kind of dashing slash mechanic that you use to navigate through the levels. I love how you can walk up walls with him. Some of the acrobatic mechanics that go into his character. And the other thing about Plague Knight's DLC is you were basically running through, the same levels that you ran through as Shovel Knight. You were just playing through them with Plague Knight's mechanics. But with Specter Knight, it's essentially like a whole new game. I mean, these aren't even like remixed levels. Yeah, they have similar themes and some of the characters that you played from the original game, but these are like all new levels. There's even new enemy types in there. The boss battles are all remixed. They're all different. It's a prequel to the original Shovel Knight that follows kind of Specter Knight, bringing together the Knights of the Order of No Quarter, and also throws in a little bit of history for his character as well about how he got to the place that he's in, which I thought was really cool. So it feels spectacular to play. It just feels really, really good. Like I just got in there, I was like, man, this just feels awesome. Like, I just want to play this game. So Specter of Torment, I can't recommend it enough. If you're a Shovel Knight fan, even if you're not a Shovel Knight fan, if you just love 2D platformers, like check out Specter of Torment. Like all of his levels are designed around his mechanics. It's just Shovel Knight was an exquisitely designed game. Specter of Torment, from what I've played, is an exquisitely designed game, and I can't wait to play some more of it, get my way through it. But I can't say enough good things about it, man. It's an excellent, excellent piece of DLC, and the fact that I got it for free for owning Shovel Knight already is just the icing on the cake. To get something of that caliber, of that quality, as just a free add-on is pretty much unheard of. So Specter of Torment is awesome.
Awesome. Check out the video if you want to see it. It's up on our YouTube channel. You'll see the Tuesday Night Indie Spotlight, Specter of Torment. Real good stream. The game looks awesome. Looks fantastic. I fired it up on the Vita. I got through the first boss, and it's a great looking game, and it's really fun. He plays a very unique style, and it's a lot of fun. So definitely check it out.
Great on the Vita too. Shovel Knight's awesome on the Vita.
Yeah, it's right at home on the Vita. It's a perfect fit there. Frankie, this week you streamed some Little Nightmares on Friday night. Let's get your initial impressions of Little Nightmares.
Yeah, so I streamed for about an hour. It's kind of just introducing you to the world, the mechanics, some of the puzzle solving you're going to be doing. If you're a fan of Limbo and Inside, it is very much one of those games, which I did not know going into this. I didn't watch any gameplay videos or anything. This is a game everything I had read about sounded awesome, so I was ready to get in there and play it. The stream was fun. I enjoyed my time with it. So since then, I've put in 2 more hours. So as you're making your way through this game, it's, of course you have, like you saw on the stream, there's these slug things that can drop down. They kill you if you touch them. A lot of things in the game are going to kill you. I still have no idea why I'm there, what's going on. It has a very eerie aesthetic to it. Like there was another part where I was going through it had these slug things, but it was you're running through like this dark shower room, so there's just water running everywhere, and these nasty slug things are coming up from the shower drains. Oh God. It's creepy, man. It's really creepy. Yeah, I mean so after the stream I kept playing, and so from what I gathered, because I looked at the chapter select option when I went back to the game, and I'm only on like the second chapter, I guess. So what I did on the stream essentially is the first chapter of this game. So past that point, you're in these new areas that there are these giant creatures that you're trying to evade and escape from. So the second area has this guy. He's kind of short, blind, has like hypersensitive hearing, and these super like wacky waving inflatable arm 2-man arms. Okay. So it was really cool, like playing through that section. It's extremely stealth based. Like you're on this wood floor, and there's a couple boards that are popped up. If you step on them, it alerts him, and he'll come like start fumbling around trying to figure out what's going on. So he has like these paper towels or these like strips of gauze or something that are laid out on the ground that when you walk on those, you don't make any noise. So you're essentially trying to get around, get him to move away, walk over to a place where he won't be able to hear you, and you kind of progress that way. So getting through that whole section was really cool. There were a lot of really cool puzzles that involve, like I said, he has hypersensitive hearing, so you run into a couple puzzles where you want to do something that's going to make a lot of noise that'll distract him, and you can kind of sneak around him that way, or find things that he will trigger that make noise that he'll, kind of cover his ears and start freaking out because he can't. It's just like killing him because he's, hypersensitive hearing and all that. So that was really cool getting through there. So now I'm in this kitchen area, which is the part that a lot of people have been talking about because the chef is really creepy. It's like his face is, oh, man. It's like Tim Burton-esque characters. It's kind of cool like seeing them, but
looks like he's made of dough.
Yeah. It could be for all I know, but so yeah, I'm that's where I'm at in the game now. The more I play of it, I don't know if I like it or not. I want to see it through because I really want to understand what's going on in this game, why all this stuff's happening. You know, what nightmare this is.
Right.
But it's just the controls for the world are kind of not ideal sometimes. There's certain points where you need to grab something, and if you're not standing in the right place, you're not going to grab onto it, and it's fixed camera angles, so like you can move the right stick and you'll see more of the screen, but you can't rotate anything.
Right.
So if you're standing in the wrong spot trying to grab something to pull something to trigger something to happen, if you're not in the right spot, you're going to die. I've had moments where I was running away from something and there's something laying on the ground, or I misjudged like the distance I had between walls and I get stuck in things. So stuff like that's been really frustrating, and checkpoints in the game are kind of brutal. So a lot of these things, if you fail them, you're going to have to go all the way back to the beginning. That was something I had noticed the first time when I got to the first room with the wacky waiting inflatable arm tube man guy. So outside of that, load times also seem really long. I don't know if you had watched much of the stream, but I want to say like the last area I finished in the stream was probably about a minute and a half loading. So that stuff's kind of a buzzkill at times, just because it happens at like, you know, when you get out of these areas, it's like a real intense moment because you're just running, you're just trying to get out of there and get away from this thing. So having the game just sit there and load for a minute kind of kills the buzz, but. I don't know. It's $20. I mean, it's like I said, if you're a fan of Inside and Limbo, you'll probably have a good time with it. Just be wary of the controls as you get more into it.
Gotcha. You want to hear about load times? I'll tell you about load times here in a moment. Bender, I want to go to you real quick. You streamed What Remains of Edith Finch. Initial impressions of that?
It was a cool game. I actually played the rest of it today. Finished it up and got the rest of the trophies. It doesn't have a platinum, but I got all 100% of the trophies. It's really good. It's a really good game. It's you know, this you play as the title character Edith Finch, and she's exploring this house where, you know, her family has lived for, you know, generations, and they have all since died. So you kind of learn the story of what happened to each of them. And the way the stories are presented are really cool. I mean, some of them are like first person. Well, I mean, mostly everything is in first person, but like the way they're presented is where like you experience something, and it's like a surreal type of thing that they're telling a story about, or like one of them is presented like a comic book that you're like flipping through, and then it's telling the story of this one character, and one of them is a flip book that you're looking at, and you're like flipping through the pages. So there's all they're told in different ways, and each of these characters just died in some weird way, or it's just, you know, a lot of different things going on, but it's a really good story, and the ending is very sad. I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but it's very emotional and definitely got to me. But it was yeah, it's a really good game, really good story. It doesn't take too long. I mean, it's maybe 2 or 3 hours probably. You can probably get through it. So you could probably get through it in one sitting, even though I didn't. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a cool game. There's some references to the Unfinished Swan, which was their first game, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, it's really, really cool. I definitely recommend it. If you like those types of games that are very narrative heavy and have a good story with interesting characters and unique situations going on, I think you'll really enjoy it.
Were you misty-eyed?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh,
at the end, I was a little bit, yeah.
Oh, I might have to play that.
Not afraid to admit it.
Oh, I'm not. Shoot, I'm not either, man. That there's one scene in The Last of Us that got me going. So awesome, yeah. You can check out Bender's stream. That's on his YouTube channel. Bender, what's the name of your YouTube channel?
It's Bender Telecaster. That's 2 words.
Bender Telecaster. You can check out his stream right there. You can check out that video on the weekly rewind post that we have going up every Friday. You can see all of our video streams right up there on that article. Frankie types it up every week. You can check out our stream, some of the content from our friends over at NLG and the Play and Listen Gaming Podcast. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate that. I'm curious. I'm interested in that game. I'm gonna have to pick that up at some point. I'm very interested. It looked beautiful. Frankie, I watched a little bit of your stream, but once I seen that there were gonna be some puzzles early on, I kindly backed out. It's like I didn't want to have anything ruined for me. But you're absolutely right. That is a Limbo Inside inspired game right there, dude. It is very eerie looking.
Yeah, the puzzles are really cool too. So at
Yeah.
least
The puzzles should be really cool in games like that. They need to be really strong, so I'm glad to hear that they're good. I played Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, and we were fortunate enough to get a review code. I'm still playing through it. I'm just about done with the campaign. I think I have like two or three more missions to go. A couple side ops I got to find, but overall impressions are it's a vast improvement over Sniper Ghost Warrior 2, but that's not saying much, since I honestly believe Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 is one of the worst games I played last gen. Considering like it's the competition for Sniper Elite, I was like, man, this might be really good. It was really, really bad, and
That's like saying, what are those Adam Sandler movies on Netflix?
You mean any of them? Just saying Adam Sandler movie.
That's like
on
saying
Netflix.
The Do-Over is better than the Rightful Six or whatever that movie was.
I would say it's a bigger gap between Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 and 2, but it's just it's a completely different approach. It's an open world game in sorts. The problem is like you have an open region, and then you got to take tunnels to the next region, which is like a completely different area. Like in the first region you start, it's kind of a jungle, wooded area. And then the next region you go to, it's a snow level, but it's not completely open world. You have to reach these tunnels to kind of load into the next area. Now the loading is the issue I have with this game, and I've already seen some articles on it. But I noticed this, and I actually sent you guys a timer of the first load screen. What it does is, if you die, there's not a long load as long as you're still in the same region. But if you're like, okay, I just finished Act 1, and to start Act 2, you got to go to this next region, and you get to the tunnel, you're looking at, and I kid you not, a 4 to 5 minute wait.
Wow.
A 4 to 5 minute wait on a load screen to go from one area to the next. Dude, you say you're playing the game, and you shut it off, and you got to run and do something, make a sandwich real quick, and you come back and you turn the game back on. 5-6 minute wait to get in.
Did Maximum Games make this?
You would think. But I do want to say that CI Games actually sent out a letter earlier this week saying they are working on addressing the load times and some other issues. But the load times, like I said, not when you die. If you die, it loads up pretty quick because you're in the same region. But if you start the game to load into your last save, 4 to 5 minutes, and to bounce from region to region, 4 to 5 minutes.
Dude, how does that pass testing?
I don't know.
Like obviously they have to know that their game has 5-6 minute load times, and I don't care like how good the rest of the game is. Like that has to be unacceptable as a developer to be like, man, this game takes 6 minutes to load a level. If I was sitting there for 6 minutes, I would think that the game was broken or that it was frozen or something.
Well, you have a little bar that slowly fills up, so you see just enough movement where you're like, wow, I kind of wish this was frozen, because then I could restart and it would start up right away, but that's not the case. The load times are a concern. They are an issue early on. They're very annoying. But thankfully, like I said, but at the same time, if you have 6 missions or 6 big missions you got to do in an act or in an area, it's going to take you a while to get through all those before you hit the load screen. But like I said, when you start the game up, there's a load. And when you move from region to region, there's a load. Very rarely does the act say, okay, look, you're going to have to do 2 missions in this region, 3 missions in this region, then 2 more here. You're basically almost staying in the same region all the time. So as you're playing through the act, like all the missions, you're still within the area. So the load times aren't really an issue there. But when you are playing from one act to the next, there is going to be a 4 to 5 minute wait, and it's absurd. So, but they are working on that. They are addressing that. They're hoping to get an update out that'll definitely reduce the load times, hopefully considerably. For the rest of the game, I had 2 hard crashes, but the game does some good things. Like I said, there's the story. Man, I wasn't expecting anything from the story, but they do try to like work in this story based on family, because basically you and your brother are going to this country of Georgia. You're both in the military. Before you start the game, you kind of get this scene between them as they were kids, and it's a nice scene that kind of builds the relationship between the two. You guys show up in this country called Georgia. Shortly after running your mission, you get knocked out. Your brother gets taken away, and then the story plays out from there. You're in Georgia. You have a mission you're supposed to carry out for the government, but you're trying to find your brother at the same time. So there is some cool a little bit deeper narrative than I was expecting based on what I played in the PC beta. So I will give them a kudos for trying to actually flesh out a decent story to kind of keep you interested going through and sniping people. It's a workmanlike effort, and I can appreciate what I played. It gets a little absurd right about the third act. There's a couple of reveals, and you're just kind of like, okay, you're getting a little carried away here, but then it kind of gets back on track. But like I said, it's not the best story. It's not going to win any narrative awards or anything like that. But compared to what I had played in Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 and what my expectations were, they surpassed them. In terms of gameplay, it's fun to play. It's the sniping is really good. The long distance kills are rewarding. So I mean, it has the sniping mechanics down. Using your assault rifles can be a little daunting. There's a lot of recoil on some of these things, but you can unlock new attachments as you complete objectives and missions. You'll get new attachments that you can buy from the store in the game. So, like I said, it's technically speaking, it's still pretty rough. It's not as bad as the PC. I don't have any frame rate issues. That's the plus side. In the PC beta, the PC was really, really rough on the frame rate. This game runs pretty good on the Pro. The HDR is actually a bonus. I played it without HDR just to see how much. It's not the best looking game. It's like I said, it's much like everything else. It's kind of workmanlike. But the HDR adds a little bit to the visuals, so it looks a lot nicer with the HDR on. So there are some strengths here. It's an improvement over 2, and I kind of want to see where CI Games can go from here with this franchise. I mean, I don't know how well this one's going to do. I mean, I kind of have an idea, but it's just I like where they're going with it. It's almost like that step that Sniper Elite 2 took to 3. But obviously I think Sniper Elite 3 was a more polished game than this one, but I do like the potential of where CI Games is going with this if they decide to do another Sniper Ghost Warrior. This is easily the best entry in the series, but there's still some issues that need to be ironed out, and there's some story decisions that are a little kind of far-fetched, but down to gameplay mechanics, sniping is fun. There's a lot of stealth elements to the game. There's a lot of ways to approach missions. There's different ways into these bases. You can go full-on stealth. You can go in guns blazing if you want to. Like I said, it's got some strengths. It's got some potential going forward as a franchise if this is the model that they continue to push out.
Well, what kind of stuff do you do in the missions? Is there a good variety in terms of the actual missions itself? Are there like side missions that you do as well, or how's the game kind of set up?
Yeah, the missions are actually pretty varied. There are some actually pretty unique missions in there where you're not even required to shoot anybody. Like, you're just trying to get through stealthily. You're supposed to climb. There's a couple missions where you got to access different areas without being detected. I mean, it's not just go here, shoot this person, and leave. I mean, there's missions where you got to go into these bases, extract some information from a computer. You got to rescue hostages stealthily without setting off alarms. I mean, there's enough in there with the missions where there's enough variety where you're just not like, okay, this is the same, go here, shoot this person. So the missions play out well. It's like a Far Cry. I do feel like some of the missions are a little bit more varied. I was just clearing out outposts, and like there's these places called points of interest, and if you clear out these points of interest, you can get resources that you need to craft items, or you'll get there's resources that you need for other stuff. So it is worth doing all these resources. There's actually some cool elements where it'll say, hey, look, you found a track or like a clue, and you go up to it, and it's almost like in Batman where you analyze the information on the ground, or like say if you see tire tracks, you'll analyze it. And then you'll see you use this mode where it kind of slows down time, and you can kind of see where your track, because your guy's a tracker, so you can see the tire tracks where they're going. They go off road, they might have went down into a ditch or off a cliff, and then you'll see some more resources that are hidden there by the car that you found by using the tracking. So like I said, it's kind of shallow in all the things that it does. Like, it has so many ideas, but it doesn't really dive deep into them. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of shallow, but there's a lot of cool ideas there. That's why I'm kind of curious to see where they go from here with this franchise.
So, I mean, where we stand at this point, is this a game you think you'd recommend to people, or where are you at in terms of that?
Well, we know this is a full price game. Okay, this is a full retail. This is $59.99, and it's hard for me to recommend it at $59.99 just because there's so many other games at $59.99. Sniper Elite 4 comes to mind, or other full-on retail games that just do a lot of things better than this one. Now, if this thing drops down to $39.99 or $29.99, and you're looking for something that'll take you a little bit of time to go through, and there's a world to explore, and there's people to shoot. Then it'd be a little bit easier to recommend. But at $59.99, it's kind of hard. But then again, I haven't finished the game. Maybe there's some strong elements. But at the same time, there's also no multiplayer right now. It's just single player.
I was gonna ask you about that too. I saw the story come out when the game released, and apparently CI Games didn't tell anybody that the multiplayer wasn't going to be ready. So the game just came out and just had no multiplayer.
Yeah, there's no co-op, there's no multiplayer. This is a single player only experience. Multiplayer is included in the season pass, I guess. So it'll be added on at some point. But I would rather them just worry about the loading times and everything else before they go into multiplayer.
Yeah, so I mean, when you take all that stuff into account and the fact that they delayed the game once, I feel like this game probably just wasn't ready.
It probably wasn't.
They probably pushed it out before, and whatever the publisher or investors, whatever, they're like, look, we can't wait around any longer. Like, this game has to come out, and it's probably just that's why we ended up getting the product that we got, and we've got 5-6 minute load times and no multiplayer and just some wonky stuff in terms of that. So. I mean, as somebody who enjoys Sniper Elite and who's already played through those games, is this something you'd recommend to those people?
Again, if I would recommend Sniper Elite 4, obviously, over that. You know what this feels like? This kind of feels like a budget Sniper Elite 4 is what it feels like. At $59.99, I would recommend Sniper Elite 4 every day of the week.
Yeah.
If this thing goes on sale somewhere on down the line and you've already beaten Sniper Elite 4, then yeah, I would recommend it to that crowd. But it's to a more general audience, probably not at $59.99. It'd probably take a good argument to sell somebody at $39 or $29.99. It's just like I said, it's there. I know what they're trying to do. I actually really want to like this game a lot, but there's just so many shortcomings and technical issues that you run into. It's just like you guys aren't quite ready yet. You guys are getting close. They're getting close, but they're not ready yet.
Gotcha.
But that's what we've been playing this week. We're going to take a quick break. We've got some new music here from Ruel Ethan. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Thanks again to Ruel Ethan for providing the music for this podcast. He does the opening music, the closing music, the music you just heard. Check him out on SoundCloud and iTunes. You can also follow him on Twitter at RuelEthan. All right, guys, let's jump into the news. First up, last week we had the Call of Duty World War II announced. This week we got the official reveal, the first trailer, and we found out this baby's launching on November 3rd. Boyce, let's talk. Let's come to you first. I know you're probably the only other guy in this podcast that actually enjoys Call of Duty to some degree. What were your initial impressions of this Call of Duty World War II trailer?
I mean, I feel like this is the same thing we say every time we see a Call of Duty reveal, but I thought it looked cool, man. It's like these guys have been making Call of Duty for who knows how long now, 10, 15 years. And they know how to make a trailer. Like, they know how to make a Call of Duty game, regardless of if it's Sledgehammer Games or Treyarch or Infinity Ward, whoever it is. These guys know how to make Call of Duty games. They know how to produce these big-budget first-person shooters. And this one looks no different, other than the fact that it's going back to World War II, but it still looks to have all like the trademark Call of Duty stuff. Even though this is, taking place in the past and it's an old war, there's still all the bombastic Call of Duty stuff. There's buildings falling over and the Michael Bay shots, like all that stuff's still in there. There's the machismo lead characters who are punching each other and all that kind of stuff. It's the same stuff that we've come to expect from a Call of Duty game. But I think World War II actually looks really, really good. I actually watched the live stream reveal for this, so I watched we saw Josh Duhamel and the other actors that are the main characters in the game. I think it's cool that he's in the game. He he plays a good like soldier type character. I instantly recognized him and his voice in the trailer, so I was like, oh, that's cool. They got him in this game, so I think he's gonna do a good job in the lead role. It they claim that this is going to be a kind of Band of Brothers type of story, and I I have my reservations about whether they'll be able to separate the broham Call of Duty stuff from a more serious take on World War II. So we'll see if that's the case. I'm not gonna hold my breath though. But I would like it if they were able to put together some type of like meaningful narrative. When those guys were talking about the story on the live stream, they made it sound like they were taking this really seriously. And Sledgehammer Games is from what I can tell, like they're really focused on making this an authentic World War II experience. Regardless of the Call of Duty bombast. So I have some hopes for the narrative and the story that they're gonna tell. And I'm excited to play this game, man. I think it looks great. We don't know much about anything other than the story stuff that they showed us in the trailer, but I thought it was a promising initial reveal.
Yeah, I liked what I saw. I mean, the action was there. I didn't see people boosting and jetpacking and running on walls, so that was instantly appealing to me.
Yeah, if you played the boots on the ground drinking game while you were watching that live stream, you were plastered by the end of that thing. They said that about 40 times.
Yeah, you were tuned up pretty good. They're really trying to drive home the fact that this is a return to its roots, so to speak, and this is going to be the Call of Duty that you know and love from yesteryear. So I'm very happy to see that. Josh Duhamel, like you said, plays a good grunt in Transformers, so I'm sure that his character will be just as one-dimensional this time around. But, it looked. I thought it looked really good. I mean, it looked good. It was action-packed, and that's what I want from a Call of Duty campaign. Frankie, I know you haven't been a big fan of Call of Duty lately. I know you were a fan of World at War. Any interest in World War II?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably
Just
not.
Kind of.
No. Destiny, Battlefront 2.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of in a bad spot.
Call of Duty somewhere? I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair enough.
I'm more into the futuristic stuff, honestly. Like I that's the stuff I enjoy. I don't think I want to go back. Battlefield 1's all right, but I don't. If I'm gonna play multiplayer, man, I'll play Titanfall 2.
There you go. Okay, fair enough. Let's go to Call of Duty correspondent Bender Holt. Bender, what was your take on the trailer? Can we get an instant analysis, please? Fantastic, good stuff. So we got the revealed trailer. We got to see the game. What the story is going to entail. This takes place during World War II. We also got some information about multiplayer as well as the co-op mode. Now, this I was I'll be honest. I was actually kind of bummed when they mentioned when we first saw the leaks last week. They mentioned co-op, a storyline for you to play through with your friends and whatnot. But it turns out this is going to be another Nazi zombie cooperative story.
I was going to ask you about that, man. Was that one and the same? The co-op thing and the Nazi zombies, was that? That's
my understanding is that this co-op is Nazis. So
yeah.
Michael Condred and studio and co-founder of Sledgehammer, he claimed, our cooperative mode delivers a unique storyline that's an all-new take on Nazi zombies, and we think fans are going to love it. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be more Nazi zombies. For me, honestly, I was kind of hoping for something more, in line with the story of the campaign, taking place during World War II, your soldiers, brothers, and a band of brothers type of thing that you play with friends. That's what I was kind of expecting, but apparently this is going to be Nazi zombies, but this will still be a storyline set during World War II. So
I thought that's what we were getting to, man. I thought this, the marketing materials that we saw, you would assume that those materials would have alluded to zombies in some respect in that type of, because they were leaked. It's not like they were supposed to be out already. So I would assume that maybe they just wanted to keep that under wraps until they reveal it at E3 or whatever it is, or whenever it is they're planning to reveal zombies. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's weird that the way they described it on that box quote, it really sounded to me like it was just a normal like soldier thing, and this wasn't like the Nazi thing. But they're going like all in, like Hail Hydra, like Red Skull type stuff, where Hitler's making like a last ditch effort to win the war with dark magic and Nazi zombies and stuff. So it sounds pretty wild, but zombies is usually pretty cool. So the one image they showed of the soldier zombie looks really cool. So
yeah, it looked creepy.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So that's basically what we know so far about the cooperative experience. It's a Nazi zombie story. It'll take place during World War II, and that's about all we got other than the screenshot here of the zombie. But we also got some details regarding the multiplayer. This is interesting. First, there's War, and this is a narrative-driven mode, which brings a gripping new layer of excitement to Axis and Allies team play. This sounds a lot like Operations. So there's kind of like a narrative kind of driving the flow of the mission. I believe it's called Operations in Battlefield, where you have to complete one objective and you move forward to the next. There's kind of a story behind the actual mission. So that's what this sounds like with War. Again, these are the small details that we have right now. There's also Divisions. This is a new approach to create a class and character customization as you enlist in a division and progress through the ranks. Again, not a whole lot of details here, but it's just giving you an idea of some of the new things you can expect to see in this Call of Duty title. And lastly, Headquarters, a brand new social feature for Call of Duty where you rally and interact with your fellow soldiers. So it sounds like Headquarters is like your tower from Destiny. You can have up to 48 people wandering about. In the live stream of after the trailer, they actually showed a quick snippet of two people overlooking this Headquarters, and you could just see names of all these people running around this area. So what you can do in this area, we're not really sure yet, but there will be kind of a social hub for you to interact with other players outside of multiplayer combat.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to be enough to make this particular multiplayer suite stand out? Like, do you like what you're hearing here? Like the War stuff?
I think War sounds really, really cool. I think War sounds cool. I love Operations and Battlefield. I think that's an awesome mode, and I do like the idea of them finding something, because this is something new. This is something for, even though it's not new in terms of the ideal, it's something new in Call of Duty, and that's what I want to see. I want to see new stuff in Call of Duty. It can remind me of stuff in other games. I don't even really care about that. I just want something new and fresh, and War is new and fresh to Call of Duty.
What do you think about
what is
this?
it good for?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Sing it again.
What do you think about the this kind of meta game they're hinting at here with this Axis Allies, and you kind of choose the faction that you're a part of? Like, how do you think that's going to go? Is this just simply going to be a meta thing outside of the game, or is there going to be more to it?
Man, I always see these meta games I don't think they ever end well, or they ever go as planned, because usually what happens is, like, everyone gets together and says, okay, we're going to just choose this faction and just run away with it. Some of these meta games, I don't like how they're implemented. I just think they lose their luster right away once they're exploited. But I am curious to see how this plays out. It's like I said, we know very little about it. Again, this is something new to Call of Duty, so I'm willing to give it a fair shake and see what they have to offer. But I just never really get into meta games.
I wonder if they would be so bold as to like make this be like your upgrade path for your character, because we've kind of heard hints of that, right? Like you could be locked into like a class and like
that's where
that.
the divisions comes in.
So you got the divisions, and what if part of that is the faction that you choose to align yourself will determine like what upgrades you can have, like what guns you can have access to. Like would they be so bold as to do something like that, you think, or you think probably not?
Like I said, I would like to see them do that. Like I said, it's just anything new, experimental or guaranteed to be a hit, I'm down for. If it's something new and fresh that keeps things interesting, that's going to pull people back into Call of Duty, I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and they've said that we won't hear about multiplayer until E3. So I'd assume that's probably going to be on the Sony stage at some point where they unveil that, or maybe it'll be a separate event. I don't know, but that's when we can look forward to getting some like concrete details. And that was the thing I thought about the headquarters too. I was like the tower, like that's kind of the thing that came to mind with that. So I think it'd be cool if they had something like that in there.
Yeah, like I said, they showed us little glimpses of these things that they're talking about during the stream, just small glimpses, and they said, like you just mentioned, they'll talk about this stuff at E3. So we just got to wait another month or just over a month. And just like we talked about last week, private beta has been confirmed. If you pre-order the game, you'll get access to it. I picked up my Pro Edition. We'll talk about the editions here in a moment. I pre-ordered my Pro Edition. You just take the code they give you, and you go over to callofduty.com/beta. You pop in the code. It'll have you set up on whatever platform you want to play it on. So pre-order to get access to the private beta. I'm sure it's going to be one of those private betas that opens up to everybody like on Sunday or something like that, where they'll open it up and then they'll extend it a day and everyone will get to play it. So
everybody loves it, so we're extending it a day.
Right. Let's talk about those editions. We have 3 different editions for Call of Duty World War II. You have the standard edition for $59.99. The digital deluxe edition, which is $99.99. This will also obviously give you access to the beta, and it includes the season pass. And then we've got the Pro Edition, which is exclusive to GameStop for $99.99. And this will not only net you the season pass and access to the beta, but you'll also get an awesome steelbook. And that's the only reason I'm picking it up. Now, it's just one steelbook. Now, it's not one of the 4 that we saw. Or I think it is one of the 4 that we saw, but how do you get the other 3? It is one of the 4,
yeah. I wonder if they're region specific. I wonder if we look around. I wonder if we look around in Europe or some of the other regions and see if they have different steelbooks or it could just be some BS. Maybe there was only ever one steelbook. Who knows?
I'll have to consult with my import maestro Frankie to figure out how to get those other steelbooks in here. That's my boy. He's always got me covered. So that's what we got from Call of Duty this week. Like I said, they didn't give us a whole lot. They just kind of gave us the trailer. We got to hear some of the snippets from what we can expect from Call of Duty Nazi Zombies, from multiplayer, just little bits here and there. But overall, I'm excited for it. I mean, like I said, I've always liked the Call of Duty campaigns. This is set in World War II. I'm not wall running and boosting and double jumping and jetpacks and all that crap. This is boots on the ground. This is the Call of Duty that I know and love. I'm excited for this. I think the campaign looks like it's going to be a hoot. Who doesn't like shooting zombies? And the multiplayer is going to be key here.
Yeah, I mean, I suck at Call of Duty multiplayer, and
we know.
Yeah, thank you. And that's not going to be a part of the game that I ever get full bore into probably. But using the campaign as a palate cleanser or the co-op stuff as like a palate cleanser here or there is something I'd be down for.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of wish that co-op. I mean, like I said, Nazi Zombies is cool, and I'm sure they'll have something clever in there. But I was really kind of hoping for like a story-driven, Band of Brothers type of co-op campaign, something like or just play through the campaign cooperative like Black Ops 3. But
yeah, because we had, for a while there, it seemed like each of the studios were going to try to do their own co-op thing. Mm-hmm. But now they all do zombies now. So
Yeah.
it's like I would have liked to have seen like Treyarch stick with the zombies, like let that be their thing, and then let these other studios come up with their own thing. Like the alien thing in Ghosts was a cool idea. Like that would have been cool to see them expand on that instead
Mhm.
of just going back to zombies, or to see Sledgehammer. The the one in Advanced Warfare, was that the crappy one that sucked? The
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would have been nice to see them not do that again, but try to do something else. Like maybe we were talking about just going through or bring back Special Ops.
There you
Dude,
go.
thank you. I was gonna say,
Bring
why
back
can't
Special
we just
Ops,
get
man.
Spec Ops?
Yeah.
Man.
Special Ops was rad, dude, and the mode in Modern Warfare 3 sucked.
Yeah.
That sucked, and then it was just downhill for the other ones if it wasn't zombies from there. So
Yeah.
I don't
God,
know.
what
Doesn't-
was-
You could play as Michael Myers in one of them.
Yeah.
That was Black Ops 2, I think.
they,
I thought it was
Yeah, I remember
Ghosts.
they played the music
Maybe it was.
too.
Yeah, you're right. It was Ghost. It was Ghost. And
Yeah,
that
play the
still
music when you got
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yeah. that was-
Yeah, I remember it was. There was. I played it on one map that was all foggy and at night, and then you heard the music playing. I'm like, oh crap, dude. My horror icon from when I was a kid is out trying to kill me right now. I never got to play as him, but it was pretty sweet seeing him run around out there. So, but we can expect to see more from Call of Duty at E3. We'll see more of the multiplayer. Hopefully, hear more about this co-op mode. And who knows? Maybe they'll drop a surprise on us and say, "Hey, Spec Ops is coming back." But I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah, we need to get the hashtag going. Bring back Spec Ops. Like let's get that
I like
going.
that. Bring
Yeah,
back Spec Ops.
make Spec Ops line backwards compatible. Do it.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Is that what you're talking about?
No,
No.
not that.
Oh,
But
well,
sure.
I don't care.
Whatever you want, Franklin. All right, so we're going to go from awesome Call of Duty news to just some lame fighting game stuff. Boys, what's going on this week with fighting games, dude?
Yeah, some lame fighting game stuff that you'll probably end up buying for whatever reason. But,
Dumbass.
Steelbook.
but yeah, we had an awesome week in the fighting game community. Primarily because of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Got a new trailer, launched, showed us some cool story stuff, and it gave us a date. We now have a date for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and it's September 19th.
Friday.
It's gonna be right in the heart of Destiny country, but I don't give a damn. I'm buying this game, and I'm gonna play it. And I'm gonna love it because I love Marvel vs. Capcom. I love all the games in this series. This story trailer I thought was awesome. We're introduced to Ultron and Sigma as the two big bads in this game that are kind of driving the story, and they combine into this like badass Ultron Sigma character. This is freaking cool. Sigma obviously from Mega Man X, Ultron from the Avengers. So two like awesome villains that I love, and to see them combine into this like one badass dude who's sitting on the throne of Asgard, like that's just awesome. So yeah, sign me up for this. So we got the story trailer, and this story trailer actually revealed several new characters for the game. So we have Ultron, we have Hulk, Thor, Hawkeye, my boy Rocket Raccoon, Chun-Li, Strider, and Chris Redfield, all confirmed for the game now. Obviously, that's in addition to Sigma as well. So they're all confirmed new characters for the game. So that brings us with these guys and the previously revealed characters. So we got Mega Man X, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Ryu, Morgan, and I think that's all the ones that were previously unveiled. So we now have like 16, 17 characters unveiled for the game. Also, they weren't content just with the story trailer. They're like, no, we're gonna drop some gameplay on you.
Oh.
So they dropped a gameplay trailer on us. So we got to see some of the new characters in action doing their thing, and game looks great, man. Looks really, really good. The coolest part of that trailer to me was we saw one of the Infinity Gems in action. We saw the Space Stone. We saw Ultron using the Space Stone to trap one of the combatants he was fighting against inside of this prism, and then he went in and performed a combo on them while they were trapped inside of there. So that's one of the things I'm really interested in with this game is how they're going to use the Infinity Stones, because that's kind of a new wrinkle, a new mechanic that they're going to throw into this game. So I can't wait to see what the rest of the stones do. I'm excited to see that. Frankie, give me your thoughts on what we saw from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, man? Are you as excited as I am about this title now?
Pre-order confirmed. Yes, the trailer looks awesome. I was actually talking to Jamie about it the other day because he was asking me about it, and the gameplay trailer came out, so we were watching it on break at work, and he's excited about it too. So I'm hoping that we can get a couple people together, do some nice fighting game tournaments with each other or something. I don't know. I know JD was talking about
Absolutely.
doing something like that, so that'd be great. Like this game looks like it's going to be a blast. Like I typically am just terrible at the Marvel vs. Capcom games, but I don't care. Like they're fun. So this one
Yeah.
looks like the story is going to be a blast. Like I can't wait to get in there and play through it. And even like the sense of humor of all the characters is in there too. You know, you just have like the end. It's just Chris Redfield is like, huh, Commander Redfield, and Ultron Sigma just looks like a brutal jackass. So I can't wait to get in there and whoop his ass. So it's gonna be fun. Pre-order
Yeah.
confirmed. The theme that comes with it on PlayStation Network, by the way, pretty cool.
Oh, really? What's on the theme?
So it's one of the ones that you flip between menus and you get a different picture. So the bottom screen
okay.
is Ultron Sigma. The top one is just the Mega Man, Ryu, and Iron Man and Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Nice. Awesome. I will. I'll have to check that out personally then. So we got the trailer, we got the new characters, a couple other bits of information for the game we have as well. I'll read a couple quotes here from a PlayStation Lifestyle article, which pulls quotes from a few other places. But there's been a few different editions of the game that have been unveiled. So we have the the regular standard edition, which is $59.99. We have the deluxe edition of the game, which is $89.99, and it obviously includes the main game, costumes for Warrior Thor and Evil Ryu, 2 additional costumes, Gladiator Hulk and Command Mission X, which is awesome. The deluxe edition also includes the 2017 Character Pass, which gives you access to 6 post-launch characters, the first one being, of course, Sigma himself. Then in addition to that, Frankie, there's a collector's edition for $199.99.
Oh, dear
And
Lord.
Comes with a steelbook.
and my gosh, I must own this thing. So we have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 separate interlocking statues as a part of this. And to top it all off, we have all 6 Infinity Gems in a nice custom case in premium packaging with a steelbook. So we've got statues for Mega Man X, Chun-Li, Captain Marvel, and Iron Man. Like I have to own this thing. It's not even a question. So this will be coming home because this looks awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on this. So, all that said, the quite possibly the most interesting part of this is the fact that we have a character pass for this game. So, one of the producers on the game, Mike Evans, revealed in an interview recently that there will be no fight money, no in-game currency like we see in Street Fighter V. So this character pass is a completely separate, just paid DLC. So Mike had this to say, quote, "All we're announcing right now is the 2017 Character Pass, which will feature 6 DLC characters, the first of which is Sigma. The other thing I can say is that the game will not feature dual currency like Street Fighter V. We don't have an in-game sweat equity currency. It will be more traditional in that sense with straight-up DLC." What do you think about that, Frankie?
I'm alright with it. I bought the season pass for Street Fighter V, even though you can earn all those characters. I bought both season passes for Street Fighter V actually, but
Yeah.
I just prefer that. You know, like it's cool to have the option if you're gonna play a ton of that game to grind out the currency, but I would just rather outright own all the characters. So if that means paying $20 for characters, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, and for the most part, when these games say that you'll be able to earn the characters in game, it's usually just some absurd. Like they calculated the time, like in For Honor, that it was going to take to earn all the supposedly stuff that you could earn in the game, and it was I don't remember what it was, but it was something like 300 hours or something like that, or it's just something absurd. So there's and isn't it like that way in Rainbow Six too, Brent?
You gotta spend 25,000 renown to unlock
Yeah.
a character, and you only earn, even if you have the season passing, and I think you only earn anywhere between 200 and 300 renown per match.
Yeah. Yeah, I seem to remember you being tens of hours into the game and you still hadn't hit 25,000 renown.
It's
So,
it's a grind, dude.
Yeah, so you're talking about playing for 500 hours just to get a few of the characters that you want to get in that game. So, a lot of times when they do that stuff, it's kind of a front for what's actually going on. It's really not possible for most people to earn those characters in game. So I'm actually cool with this as well. I don't mind if they do the DLC this way, because this is usually how I end up getting the characters anyways. A couple other cool things to note here. He said about the final character number. We have many more announcements coming. I can't say about the final number, but it won't be disappointing. So that's good to hear. He also confirmed that there will be characters in the game from places other than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this has been a point of contention with some people. It's been unclear whether or not this game was strictly going to be based around the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So there's been fears that we won't see any of the X-Men characters or Doctor Doom, which is an ultra popular character in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He's one of the top tier characters in that game, so a lot of people are worried that Doom won't be in this game because he's a Fantastic Four character. And the Marvel Cinematic Universe doesn't have the rights to him. So, but he says, fear not, you will see characters that Marvel doesn't have the cinematic rights to. Specifically, when he was asked about Doctor Doom, he said, well, I would say stay excited. We have many announcements coming, but you're not the first to ask that one. So take of that what you will. Bender, might this be your entry to the fighting genre?
It could be. I did watch that trailer. It looks pretty cool. I played a little bit of the last one because a friend was having some people over to play some games, and they were playing that, and I thought it was a cool game. It was really fun, and I like the characters that they have in there. I liked the last game had Amaterasu from Okami. She was a pretty cool character, so hopefully she'll be in there again. But yeah, I mean, I might have to pick this one up and try to get good. I've never been very good at fighting games, but this is one that I do enjoy playing at least. So yeah, I might have to check this one out.
A couple other fighting game nuggets I want to mention here too. The Joker finally revealed for Injustice 2. So interesting that he's in this game. We also saw a reveal trailer for Darkseid, who looks awesome, by the way. I love how he floats around the screen with his hands behind his back and then just proceeds to just beat your ass when you get close to him. Like it's awesome. So he looks rad. So most of the roster is pretty much. Is this the entire roster now, Frankie? That's going to be in the main game. Okay. So the Joker, the last character to be revealed, that will be in the main version of this game. We are just a few scant weeks away from Injustice 2.
Yeah. Did you notice? I think it was last week, but the Injustice account, like they changed the. So they had like the Injustice, like the eye on there. They changed it gold.
Yeah, I did notice that it was gold. What's the story with that?
I'm
Anything?
just guessing that
Just
the game went
that
gold.
the game's gold.
Yeah. Instead of posting about it, they just changed it and didn't say anything.
Yeah, I could see that being an Ed Boon joint, just changing gold. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, this will be out in a few weeks. This game looks awesome, man. I mean, would you agree, Frankie, that every time you see this game, it just looks better and better?
Yes, I can't wait to hop into that one. I'm sitting here like staring at the pre-order option for that one. Like, should I get a? I don't know. I don't know if I want to get the steel book or not. The Batman steel book looks really nice, so I'm kind of teetering on which one I should pick up.
Yeah, man. So a couple weeks that'll be out. I can't wait to play that as well. Seems like the story is going to be really cool in that one as well. And still really, really curious about the gear upgrade system in that game and what they're going to do with it.
Interesting thing, by the way, the achievement list for this game actually popped up the other day, so I was perusing through it. Seems like there's going to be branching paths in the story, so there's actually going to be like
really
alternate endings and stuff. So it looks like the story itself is going to be replayable, which is pretty cool.
Huh? That's awesome. I didn't realize that. I hadn't seen the achievement trophy list yet, so that's good news, man. Because this story sounds like it could be neat.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
especially with like the last one, like man.
yeah, some crazy stuff happened in the last Injustice. So cool. So it's a good time to be a fighting game fan. We got Marvel vs. Capcom. We got Injustice 2. Tekken's on the horizon. Some other cool stuff out there as well. Yeah. So, Brent, back to you, my friend.
Oh, hang on a second. I just got a call from the producer. I got a call coming from the producer. Our ratings plummeted. Everyone unsubscribed. We didn't lose any sponsors. Well, that's good. Okay, good.
Was this like during the Call of Duty part?
No, this whole section just flatlined. So let's. All right, boys. I'm gonna allow you to redeem yourself. You just killed the entire show with the fighting game section. Let's turn it around. What's going on in the world of Sony, man? Bring us back. Bring us back from the dead.
So we got an interesting one here. This comes courtesy of the Wall Street Journal, but they put out a report on Sony's operating profits this past week, and they are going to be the highest they've been in a very long time. Just shouts out to Kaz Hirai, by the way, who just stepped into the CEO role at Sony and just knocked it out of the park. I mean, his 3-year plan is culminating right now with this current fiscal report, and he basically hit the goal that he set out to achieve. And it has completely turned this company around, and led by PlayStation, which is where he came from. Like, PlayStation is leading this billion-dollar electronics business, and it's primarily that sector that's driving the growth of Sony right now. So, shouts out to Kaz for doing his thing over there. But more importantly than the profit that they're going to see this year is this little nugget here about the future of PlayStation. This is once again from the Wall Street Journal. So first and foremost, more than 60 million units of the PlayStation 4 have been sold since its introduction in 2013, keeping Sony ahead in its race with Nintendo and Microsoft. Network services, such as software downloads and paid subscriptions, are helping boost the video game business even further. However, Sony faces tougher competition because Nintendo released its new Switch console in March, and Microsoft plans to introduce its Scorpio console later this year, as we know. Now, Macquarie Capital Securities analyst Damien Thong said that he expected Sony to release its next-generation PlayStation, this would presumably be the PlayStation 5, by the second half of 2018.
Oh.
The company has, of course, yet to disclose its plans. That's any quote from the Wall Street Journal here. So, a little bit of background on this Damien Thong guy, but apparently he has correctly predicted the launch and release of the PlayStation 4 Pro and the PS4 Slim in the recent past. So, there's a little bit of basis for some of his predictions. I don't know what else he's predicted. He could have predicted a million other things wrong. Who knows? But I go to you, Brent. Any chance that we see a PlayStation 5 by the second half of 2018?
Man, I'm not an analyst, but to me, as a consumer, that just seems too soon. But again, at the same time, the PS4 Pro is just an extension of the PS4. For somebody that's had a PS4 since 2013?
2013.
5 years? It's not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, if you look at it from that aspect and not look at it from, hey, look, the PS4 Pro just came out, because that makes it sound like the PS4 Pro is a whole new system. This is still an extension of the PS4. If you've been on the PS4 train since 2013 and they're saying, hey, look, end of 2018, you might see a PlayStation 5, we know they're not making it a 10-year cycle like last time or however long they did the PS3 for. I mean, it's possible, man. I'm not going to say no, but I mean, it's possible.
I mean, this used to be the life cycle of a console. It used to be 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be what it was until we got, along the line here with some of the recent PlayStation consoles and the 10-year plans. But they've all but said, like you alluded to there, Brent, that's not going to be a thing anymore. Like the 10-year life cycle is it's not happening in this current state of technology that we're in right now. We're going to see technology ramp up and iterate on a much more regular basis. So, Frankie, what do you think about this? Any chance that we see a PlayStation 5 in the second half of 2018? And do you think that either the success of the Switch or the impending release of the Scorpio, is this going to have any effect on their plans, or is Sony just kind of do their thing because they're the lead horse in this race right now? What do you think, man?
I don't know, but honestly, I'm gonna be pissed if the PlayStation 5 rolls out next year. Like, I just bought the Pro. I still don't feel like we're seeing many games that are really optimizing that for its full potential just yet. And I don't know, like I understand like this notion that the 10-year console cycle is maybe too long, but at the same time, it's like we have these consoles now, the Scorpio and the Pro, that are better versions of that base console that's supposed to extend the life of it, right? So I would actually kind of hope that it maybe runs 10 years. I mean, you look at like developers now, like Naughty Dog still says that they have another game that they're working on. We don't know what Sucker Punch is doing after Infamous. Obviously they have something cooking. There's just a ton of developers out there that we still haven't seen like their first game on these consoles. We just saw our first Mass Effect game this year. Like there's all kinds of stuff that I still am like waiting to see come to these systems before. Oh well, the PlayStation 5 is coming out, and then just completely abandon the PlayStation 4. Like I don't feel like next year is the right point in time to do that. I would say 2020 maybe, like a 7-year cycle. Sure, I could see that, but I'm honestly going to be pretty mad if next year's it.
You hit on something that's kind of how I feel as well. Is that I just feel like the pipeline. There's like so many things in the pipeline right now. There's Death Stranding, which has to be a few years out. There's God of War. We don't know when that's coming out. We don't know when Spider-Man's coming out. You mentioned Sucker Punch's game. You know Naughty Dog is working on something that's going to be out at some point in the future. Gran Turismo is not out yet. There's Star Wars games in development. There's a very healthy lineup of titles set to come out in the next couple years that I don't think Sony needs to rush this out. Like they could take their time with this, and with so many things still on the docket for them, I would be very surprised if they released the console in the second half of 2018 as a new PlayStation. But on the same token, I wouldn't be shocked if it happened. I mean, like I said before, this used to be a console cycle. It used to be 5 years. Like that used to be the thing on it. And I know we're getting the iterative consoles and that kind of stuff now. But this is a bold new era of home consoles that we're moving into now. So we don't really know how all this is going to go. So if the technology is there and they can make a quantum leap in this, then I think we could see a PlayStation 5 in 2018. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. The other thing too, Frankie, is I feel like from here moving forward, it seems like there's going to be this carry in our library with us type of thing. Like they one of the things that we've heard about why they moved to this new architecture was that it had a more PC setup to it, so that when they iterate on these consoles and when they make new consoles, like your old stuff is going to be probably easier to make compatible with these newer machines. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if they do a PlayStation 5 and it does come out in 2018 or 2019 or whenever, I feel like it's still going to tap into the PlayStation 4. And in that respect, some of these studios that are still working on games, still haven't released the title, could still release one to a massive audience that owns the PlayStation 4, and as well as some new people that might be hopping in with the PlayStation 5. Bender, what do you think about this whole thing, man? Any chance we see a PlayStation 5 in 2018?
I agree with you guys. I feel like it's too soon for that, but it's not, like you said, it's not outside the realm of possibility. I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen, but if it feels too soon to me. I think the PS4 still has a lot of life left. It's still selling well. I think they can still make some good games for it. And there's plenty of time for them to do that. Excuse me, for them to do that, and I don't think they need to rush out the PS5. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they did it, but I don't think they need to do it right now.
Yeah, and like I said, just with so much in the pipeline. I mean, if we go off past history, if they were to release a PlayStation 5 in the second half of 2018. They'd probably announce the PlayStation 5 early in 2018, like around February, like they did with the PlayStation 4. Mm-hmm. And then they would release the PlayStation 5 in November of 2018. So if they were to do that, that would overshadow so many games that wouldn't have been released on the console yet. We could be in a situation where we still hadn't seen God of War, like it hadn't been released yet. That we might not have Days Gone and Spider-Man and Sucker Punch's game, and The Last of Us Part 2 is not going to be out yet. So there's all these great games on the horizon that that wouldn't have been out yet. So I find it very hard to believe that at the beginning of 2018 they'd shuffle out this new system when they're in the middle of just dominating this console generation and selling PlayStation 4's hand over fist. So I'd be very shocked if we saw a PlayStation 5 that early. Brent, would you agree with that? And I want to get your thoughts on one more thing too. Like, how does VR factor into this?
The VR thing is interesting because, as we know, the VR is still trying to take off. It's still trying to gain some momentum. The Pro obviously alleviates some of the problems that might occur on the PS4 version, but I don't know if VR is enough to drive a new console out. Because we're still not quite sure where VR is going to go from here. I mean, we've had some good titles here and there, but I don't think we've had the killer app, the killer title. So I'm not sure if VR is going to be driving that decision. But I do agree with you guys that there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline for them to just be like, okay, here's a new system, because you're going to be undercutting a lot of these first-party studios that are going to have to try to rush to get their stuff out to a PS4. And like you said, Death Stranding is running on a PS4 Pro right now, and that's, like you said, a couple years out. So that would lead me to believe they're not going to put out a PS5 before Hideo Kojima's next masterpiece comes out on the PS4. They don't want to cut into that. They're not going to want to do that with a new console. It depends. If it's actually destined for the PS5, I have no idea. But it just seems weird that you would want to release a console like that, like you said, with so many first-party titles in development that are slated to do well on the PS4.
Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is, well, I wouldn't necessarily be shocked. I would be shocked if they unveil the PlayStation 5 next year. That's just way too. I mean, The Last of Us Part 2. Like, this is a game that could be 2 years down the line, and there's no way they're going to release a system out, and then that game's going to come out a couple of years later on a different system. It doesn't make any sense. So we're calling BS on the 2018. We'll see how it goes, and we'll have to see how Scorpio factors into all this as well. This could force their hand on this issue. We'll have to wait and see. Another interesting story: Blue Point has an unannounced game in the works. Blue Point, they've primarily done like PlayStation games. Like they have, I think they did the Metal Gear Solid collection, but other than that, they've done like the Nathan Drake collection, which was awesome. A fantastic collection. That's one of the best remastered collections I've ever bought, is the Uncharted collection. Like, seeing those games in the higher resolution at 60 frames is sweet. They've done the Gravity Rush remastered. They did the God of War collection, the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus collection. So obviously they're very close with the PlayStation brand. And they have a new job posting. This was posted on Reddit, and the listing notes that this will be a remake of a classic game for current gen systems. They also noted that this project is another amazing unannounced project to please the masses. Frankie, what could this be? What could Blue Point be working on? Let's just assume it's a PlayStation title. It's a remaster of something. What could they be working on that would please the masses, quote unquote?
Demon Souls.
That could be a crowd pleaser, definitely. Any other games that it might be?
The only other one that I could maybe see them bringing up would be, and this was like rumored a long time ago, but PlayStation All Stars. I think they had a hand in that when the game initially came out. Like, I think they co-developed it. Yeah, I could see that one coming up as well. It's a pretty cool fighting game on the PlayStation with a lot of the cool PlayStation mascots and such. So it's another good possibility.
I actually really like that game.
Same. I got a platinum trophy in that.
Me too.
Love it.
Platinum Bros.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a cool game. Those are two great choices. What do you think, Brent? Any PlayStation franchises on the forefront of your mind that you think would be ripe for the remastering to please the masses?
Well, you can already guess one. You already know what one of them is. Give me another SOCOM. Give me a remaster of a SOCOM 2. Go reach back. Get me SOCOM 2.
Could this be?
They're helping with H-Hour?
No, don't do H-Hour. Just give me SOCOM. I was thinking, I think it'd be cool if they remastered the Resistance games and got those up on PS4. That'd be cool to revisit those.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
If we're going third party, there was a lot of rumors back in the day that we might see it. I could see them do like a Modern Warfare. trilogy remaster. That would be my guess for a third party. But what were you thinking?
The Mass Effect trilogy.
Oh,
If
Mass
we're gonna go
Effect
third
trilogy.
party,
Yeah.
That could be huge. The one that I was thinking of was actually Infamous.
ooh,
If they did the Infamous games from PS3,
Girl.
remastered them
Yes.
to go like hand in hand with Sucker Punch's new game that's coming out.
Oh man, yeah.
So,
Dude, I love that.
Mm.
yeah, I would love to play those games on PS4 as well. Bender, hop in here, man. What do you think? What could Blue Point do to please the masses?
I don't know. I like the Infamous idea. That'd be pretty sweet. But I was just trying to think of other signature PlayStation brands or mascots from the past, and like maybe Frankie can get his Spyro remaster.
Ooh.
No, shut up.
Oh.
Or like, I don't know, Ape Escape.
There you
I
go.
don't know.
They got the Ratchet and Clank Futures trilogy they could bring up to go with Spider-Man.
Dude, I'd be very on board for that because Tools of Destruction never had trophies, and
Yeah. Crack in Time is
I-
one of my favorite PlayStation 3 games.
those
Yeah,
are
Crack in Time
really,
is awesome.
really, those are really good games. Tools of Destruction, I thought was awesome. Like I went through and did all the, whatever they were called, skill points at that time before they were
Yeah.
trophies. Like I went through and got everything in that game because that was just such a fun game. Yeah. So those are. So Blue Point, if you're listening,
All
there you
those.
go. We're
Just all those.
yeah.
All of
just-
Do
them.
all of them.
just do everything. So yeah, hopefully we'll find out sooner rather than later what they're working on. Maybe E3. We'll see. A couple other things to mention here in the world of PlayStation: Human Fall Flat, which is a curve joint, it's hitting consoles on May 9th. So this will be out next week. If you pre-order this game, you actually get Manual Samuel for free. So I'm thinking about doing that because I never picked that one up, and I was interested in that one as well. So this will be out on PS4 and Xbox One. Now this one I'm really interested in. I don't know if you guys have been watching this, but Brawlhalla. It's coming out this summer. You can sign up for the closed beta now, which I've done. So go on Google, type in Brawlhalla. That's Brawl, Halla, and sign up for the closed beta on this. This is a free-to-play Smash Brothers game, pretty much, with an incredible hand-drawn art style. It's they claim that they have a great free-to-play model with this. It's not pay-to-win. It's I don't know how they're going to do this exactly, but this game looks awesome. It really, really looks awesome. There's a group of independent developers that are all working on like Smash Brothers type games for PCs and other consoles, and this is one of them. And this one looks like one of the most promising ones. But it's a very cool cast of characters set in like a Norse mythology type setting. So keep your eye on that one. Really, really good looking title. Infinite Mini Golf is coming to PS4 and PSVR from our friends at Zen Studios. This could be a cool one. Wuppo is coming to PS4 this summer. A very strange-looking narrative adventure game. And Gundam Versus coming exclusively to the PS4 this fall, which looks like kind of looks like Zone of the Enders. Reminds me of that type of thing. Actually, looks pretty badass. So that's gonna do it, Brent, for the
Awesome.
PlayStation stuff.
Thank you, Mr. Boyce. Well, now that we got that out of the way, I got something for you. And now
Oh, do you?
we might have to like block off your camera once we read this to you because you might just do some inappropriate stuff. But
Oh boy.
according to our good friends at the Korean Games Rating Board,
I like them.
Oh boy.
they've revealed some good stuff.
Dude.
They've leaked some stuff.
Dude, you can sign this in concrete with the Korean ratings board.
They have rated for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC the Mega Man Legacy Collection number 2.
Number 2.
Boom.
Boom.
According to the description, this collection will include Mega Man 7, Mega Man 8, 9, and 10. How's that make you feel, boys? Are you warm and fuzzy inside?
I am. I'm very warm and fuzzy.
Oh my. The way he said that was so inappropriate, but go ahead.
Yeah, the cool thing about this collection is I don't have as much experience with these titles. So the Mega Man games I'm most familiar with are 1 through 4 and the first Mega Man X game. Like, those are the ones I grew up with the most. Those are the ones I played the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to discover 5 and 6 as part of the first Mega Man Legacy Collection. They were games that were later in the NES life cycle. I didn't have as much experience with those ones, so I was excited to get in there and experience those. Now, Mega Man 7 was on the Super Nintendo. Mega Man 8 was on the PlayStation 1. And Mega Man 9 and 10 were released for PS3 and 360. They were throwbacks to like the Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3 era. So I played some of 9, but I didn't really get a chance to play through 9 and 10. So these are games that I'm not very familiar with. So I'm looking forward to jumping in there and playing some of these games and getting to experience these Mega Man games for the first time. Basically, it's like getting a whole new collection of Mega Man games for myself. So that's really exciting to me. Also, this has to get us one step closer to the Mega Man X collection. Like it has to. It has to be building towards that, right?
I think that's where we're headed. I think that's Capcom is playing this smart. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just it's a drip feed. We're gonna see here's collection 2, and then 6 months from now you're gonna see, hey, Korean ratings board, we got another one for you.
Yeah. People gotta be eating this stuff up. Like they gotta be eating up the Legacy collection. They gotta be eating up the Disney Afternoon collection. People are gonna eat up this collection, and we're hungry for the Mega Man X collection now. So if they can rock that out after this, I will be satisfied. I will be happy.
I'm sure you're satisfied right now. Do you need a second?
I do. Wipe the sweat off my brow.
I'm not worried about that. Go ahead, Frankie.
Oh, I was just going to say there were 2 other leaks, too, that popped up from, I think, the PEGI ratings board, and I think another one was the Korean one. But Broken Age and Volume, apparently, were rated for Xbox One.
Mike Bithell confirmed it is coming to Xbox One. Volume
Yeah, nice. Dude, both those games are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Buy them. Buy them when they hit the system.
Yeah, Volume is a sweet game with a sweet soundtrack.
Bender just
Didn't
got
really
the
care-
Platinum in Broken Age.
That's right, he does.
I did. I haven't talked about that yet. Yeah, I got that platinum. It was fun.
That's good. Platinum. Volume is a great game. A little disappointed with the VR implementation, but it was a really good game. It's awesome on the Vita too.
Oh yeah, Limited Run did that one. I think that one got like a cool gold foil cover treatment.
It did. Yeah.
That soundtrack is rad. If you get a chance to pick that up or listen to it somewhere, Volume has a kick-ass soundtrack. So there you go, Mr. Boys. Mega Man Legacy Collection number 2. Not announced, but it has been rated. So
basically announced.
The other
it's basically been announced.
Yeah, dude, Korean ratings board is money. Like they don't mess up with this.
Zero f***s given. They're just like we're gonna announce the game for you. Okay, so there you go.
The other cool thing, Mega Man 9 actually came out before the implementation of trophies. So this will be our first time we can actually earn trophies in Mega Man 9.
There you go. Can't wait. You should
Excited.
stream the ones you haven't played. I think that'd be pretty fun because those can be pretty tough games. And I'd love to, any chance we get to see a Brent Boys meltdown. I think we need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I would like to do some Mega Man streams. Actually, get some playthroughs up. I could actually play through the games on the Mega Man collection, and I think those would be some cool archived streams to have.
I think that'd be fantastic. All right, let's keep it going. We got some Xbox bulletins. First up, Halo 6 will focus more on Master Chief, and it won't feature any new playable characters.
Thank God.
343 Industry Studios head Kiki Wolfkill. That's a
great name.
Kiki Wolfkill. And franchise director Frank O'Connor have spoken about fan reaction to Halo 5 Guardians and their plans for Halo 6. This is what Frank had to say. We very much realized people wanted Master Chief's story of Halo 5. We definitely marketed it in a way that we hoped was going to bring surprise, but for some of the fans, and certainly fans of Master Chief, it was a huge disappointment because they wanted more Chief. Doesn't everybody? Everybody wants more Chief. It wasn't that surprising to me, but the volume of "Give us more Chief" at the end of Halo 5 was significant, and so I think, if anything, he's slightly more important now than he's ever been before, certainly to our franchise. So basically, the focus for the franchise will not be on bringing new characters or expanding the number of playable characters. Instead, 343 will be, quote-unquote, making the world a little bit more realistic and compelling. So there you go.
That's what I want in my space sci-fi shooter is realism. Thank you.
Yeah. There you go. Well, you'll get more Master Chief next time around, so which I'm content with. I didn't know what the hell was going on in Halo 5, but I was disappointed. I didn't get enough Chief. For my first time actually playing all the way through a Halo game, I didn't get enough Chief.
You know, my problem was the way that game was marketed. Like that whole dynamic between Locke and Chief seemed like it would be like the cornerstone of that game. It was over in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. It was a small section where they kicked each other's ass, and then like
It was
you
a
were just like,
fucking
"That's it?"
cutscene.
Yeah, it was
You
a
don't
cutscene.
even do anything.
It was disappointing. Disappointing. So at least they've learned from that, and with Halo 6, they're going to give us more Chief and less everyone else, which is awesome, in a more realistic and compelling world. Now, this next thing I want to talk about briefly, I hate racing games because I suck at them. I don't hate racing games because they're racing games. I suck at them. However, this Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheels DLC looks freaking awesome.
Yes.
This drops on May 9th. The Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheels, there are 10 new cars, including several of Hot Wheels' world-famous vehicles, as well as a brand-new barn find just waiting to be discovered and restored. Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheels takes players to 6 new themed islands located off the coast of Australia, all connected by a network of Hot Wheels tracks positioned hundreds of feet in the air, featuring classic Hot Wheels configurations like loops, corkscrews, and more. This is stunt driving at its most extreme, where you can master tracks by performing brand new Hot Wheels skills that make use of boost pads, high bank turns, half pipes, insane jumps, and even giant mechanical dinosaurs. Yeah. If you're looking to get creative, check out the new stunt swap features to modify stunt track sections and dare your friends to try them. Look, I'm playing this. Okay? I don't play Forza Horizon 3 ever. I will play this DLC. The video looked awesome. The screenshots looked awesome. This looks fantastic. Frankie, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I'm with you. That trailer looks awesome. I loved Hot Wheels as a kid. Like my dad's a huge car enthusiast, so he got us into cars at a young age. So I had like a ton of those Hot Wheels stunt sets as a kid. Getting to play an actual Hot Wheels game that doesn't totally suck, it's gonna be awesome. I am so excited. I don't care if it's just an expansion. It's an expansion to probably one of the best racing games that I've played in a while. So I'm in. I don't care.
Bender, you like Hot Wheels?
Yeah, definitely.
You gonna pick up Forza Horizon 3 for some Hot Wheels, dude?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Oh, we got a maybe out of him. That's good. Boys, you gonna go out and buy an Xbox One to play Hot Wheels DLC in Forza Horizon 3?
Nope.
Can you run Forza Horizon 3 on your PC at least without it blowing up?
Sure can't.
Oh, well, sucks to be you, brah.
Ah, well.
We'll definitely have a video up of that because I'm checking that out. That looks freaking awesome. So, like I said, I suck at racing games. I'll happily suck at that. No problems there.
I can't wait till we extract that soundbite and use it out of context. That's going to be awesome.
I'll happily suck at that. Oh, no. What have I done? Good Lord. All right, last bit of news, Nintendo news. And here's Nintendo. A new Nintendo 2DS XL has been announced. Nintendo revealed the new Nintendo... God, why does it have to be so long? Then I'm just going to say the new 2DS XL, which will arrive in Australia and New Zealand on June 15th and the U.S. on July 28th. The new system will have a recommended retail price of $150. According to Nintendo, the device should fill a hole between the existing 2DS and the new Nintendo 3DS, with a price and list of features that sits between both. According to Nintendo president, this is our buddy Reggie, this new addition to Nintendo's portable hardware line demonstrates our commitment to the handheld market. New Nintendo 2DS XL sports a beautiful clamshell design and offers a great balance between price and performance.
Does it come with a power supply?
Yes, this time
to
it
be
does,
announced.
actually.
It does include an AC adapter.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
I might buy one.
Something's wrong at Nintendo. So call over there real quick. Make sure Reggie's okay. The new Nintendo 2DS will boast a screen as large as the one on the new 3DS, though visuals will obviously only be displayed in 2D. Nintendo reports the system is lighter, but packs the same power as the new 3DS. This will also launch on the same day as 2 new games for the Nintendo 3DS family, Hey Pikmin and Miitopia.
It's called Hey Pikmin.
So, yeah, it's called Hey Pikmin.
That's a really dumb name.
I can't argue
They just
that.
just fire the marketing department. Well, what do we call this game? Hey, Pikmin. I don't know. Hey, Pikmin. All right, cool. Check it.
Hey,
Print it.
Pikmin.
Put it on the box.
Bender, initial reaction to Nintendo's announcement of a new Nintendo 2DS XL.
My initial reaction was, why? Who is this for? But I mean, after looking at it again, I mean, it has a cool design. I think it looks cool, but I don't know. I like the 3D on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. I guess not everybody does. So I don't know. I think it's weird that they just continue to muddle their marketing with more and more SKUs on the 3DS end. I mean, because you got the 3DS, and you got the 3DS XL, then the new 3DS XL, then the 2DS, now the new 2DS XL. It's like
There's also just a new 3DS.
yeah. So exactly, yeah. So it's like I don't know. It's just weird. And a little confusing, but I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it.
Good Lord.
A typical Nintendo response. They've left us speechless.
Yeah,
At this.
We discontinued the thing you really want, and we're putting out this thing that we don't know if anybody wants.
Here's the thing I don't understand. Doesn't the 3DS XL regularly sell for less than $199? Like, can't you normally get them for like $175? Or I feel like I see these things on deals all the time.
Yep.
yeah, I think
So
so.
they're so I feel like they're trying to fill a price point that I'm not even sure was void. I feel like the 3DS was could fill that. I mean, I don't know.
The 2DS fills it. Like, people who buy
Yeah.
that thing just want something for their kids, and it's like under. I think it's like going for $79, $69 bucks now.
Yeah, $79.99 for that, and I get that, but I mean, I picked up those new 3DSs for $99.99 recently.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the ones at
And those-
Christmas time.
Yeah, and then my kids love those. Those things are cool. So I'm not sure that this was a price point that was waiting to be filled. I don't know. I just don't really get it.
I don't get it either. And I don't really. And maybe we should probably just avoid thinking about it too hard right now. One thing that Nintendo did confirm, though, yes, it is possible to perform a system transfer from any system in the Nintendo 3DS family to the new Nintendo 2DS. So you can transfer all your stuff over to the 2DS if you decide to take your new 3DS and transfer your stuff over to the 2 simply because you can't pull the Switch down to turn 3D off. Okay, sounds great. The Nintendo Switch has sold 2.74 million units worldwide in its first month.
Oh,
Nice.
that's all of them, right?
That's a big number. Right, they're all gone. And to kind of compare that to the NES Classic Edition, shipped 2.3 million units worldwide before cancellation, which doesn't bode well for the Switch.
They're past the threshold.
Yeah, we're
That's-
selling these just way too fast. Let's cancel the Switch. This is why the 2DS is out, because they're going to cancel the Switch.
That's
There you go.
insane, dude. 2.3 million units of the NES Classic Edition.
Pull the plug.
Yeah,
Get it out of
rid
here.
it. Get rid of it. People
We're
don't want
making
this.
too much money.
We're bleeding money on this thing.
That
Good
is-
God.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
2.3 million. So 2.3 million times 60. Anybody want to do the math there? Like $140 million dollars.
Many millions.
Cancel it.
Dude,
And,
that's like extra money for them. Like, they weren't even expecting this, according to them.
You don't
They
have
were
to update it.
expecting-
You don't have to do anything, dude. You just
Yeah.
sell it and it's gone. There's
Yeah.
no software updates. You just unload the thing.
There's no upkeep on it. Yeah, you just manufacture them and people buy them. It's like that's wild.
Jeez, oh man, just brilliant. So watch out, Switch. Your days are numbered. The New York City store has officially stopped selling the Classic Edition too. So
That's
those
it.
those
It's
go bye
reality.
bye.
It's reality now.
E3. Nintendo will not host a large-scale E3 press conference this year. The company shared the news at the end of its latest financial results briefing. This is what they had to say. Again, this year, we will not be hosting a large-scale press conference for the institutional investors, analysts, and the media, said Nintendo of its E3 plans. With regards to what Nintendo has planned for this year's Expo, the company didn't specify, only saying Nintendo of America will present further information on our plans at a later date. So as soon as we're ready, we'll let Bill Trinan let you know when the treehouse is, and there's your E3 stuff. Nintendo will continue to support 3DS in 2018. Reggie was also asked whether Nintendo had any plans to introduce more classic games to its current virtual console offerings on 2DS, new 2DS, new 3DS. Here's what Reggie had to say. We know that there is a tremendous interest in this overall area. We're blessed with having a tremendous legacy of content that we've lost across our various platforms. We've got nothing to announce right now in terms of virtual console offerings, whether it's on 3DS or Switch, but we know there's a tremendous amount of interest in this area.
Canceled.
Thanks, Reggie.
Man, there's some insight right there, guys.
So we set fire to the room that houses all the master cartridges.
This is the kind of stuff that worries me, dude. Just seeing this, like they're gonna continue to support the 3DS in 2018. Like they said that they're gonna announce new games at E3 for the 3DS. They're gonna continue to support this thing in 2018. Like I really thought that part of this whole Switch thing was, hey, the 3DS is gonna ride off into the sunset, and we're gonna focus on this new device now. But I don't know that that's going to be the case. I mean, if they're going to announce games at E3 for this thing, then they've probably got some big titles they're still working on for this thing.
I mean, it really shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, they just announced the new 2DS. I mean, and if those games all work on that, I mean, it makes sense that they're going to support. I mean, they can't release this now and be like, oh, well, we're done with it at the end of the year, because that's worse than canceling the classic edition. So
I don't know. That's basically what they did with the new 3DS. There's like 4 games on it that are actually like exclusive. So they just now realized it was out there apparently. So,
and can we please talk about the virtual console at E3 at the very least? Can that be a part of your Nintendo Direct?
It's gotta, dude. They gotta discuss it at some point. It's gotta be brought up at some point. I mean, E3. It has to be out this fall. It has to be out this fall when they have their new system, or when they have the online portion come out, or whatever it is. They got to talk about the virtual console. He says everybody wants this damn thing. He has to talk about it at E3.
Yeah, everybody wants achievements. Everybody wants an online system. Everybody wants the virtual console. Come on, Nintendo. Let's get with the program here.
Shut up and buy a new 2DS XL already.
They'll be on sale for $89.99 this holiday. So there you go. And the last bit of Nintendo news, the best bit of Nintendo news this week. It was reported earlier this week that Axiom Verge was coming to the Nintendo Switch with a physical release. But that's not exactly true. Axiom Verge developer Thomas Happ was recently on a podcast called World 1-1. While on the podcast, Happ said that his team wants a Switch version, but they're unsure of when that would happen. Dan Adelman, former head of digital content and development at Nintendo of America, took to Twitter to correct the various news outlets who were misreporting the announcement. In his tweet, Adelman states, Tom never said Axiom Verge is confirmed for the Switch. He continued with some slight elaboration on why they can't confirm Axiom Verge for the Switch. In short, it's on Nintendo's side of the court now. Dan said, we need them to say it's okay. We could have had it out at launch, Adelman stated in a response to a fan question. And when somebody asked him again for further explanation, here's what Dan had to say. We've been asking them nonstop for over a year. They're being douches. Bravo, Dan. And it was great because somebody was asking Thomas Happ about this on Twitter, and Thomas Happ said, the long story short was, they're not accepting any ports. And then Thomas Happ had a list of exceptions, which was like just about every game on the Switch right now. But yeah, apparently they can't bring the Axiom Verge over because it's a port.
That's so weird. Why would they be doing this to this game? I don't understand.
Because they're
it's
mad
too
at
similar to Metroid. It's too similar to Metroid.
Yeah, this is a game that's basically a love letter to Metroid. It's steeped in everything that Nintendo has created, and they're just like on this dude. That's it's tragic.
Yeah,
The
that's
Wii
weak as
version
hell.
probably outsold Federation Force, so they just hold a grudge against him now.
And that's a shame because the Switch is a perfect spot for a game like Axiom Verge, and it's a brilliant game. It's an awesome game. It's a love letter to one of their best franchises, and I can't even imagine why there would be an issue with porting this over. It's just but hey, Dan summed it up. They're being douches.
But dude, they said they could have had it ready for launch. Could have been a launch game. It's ready to go. Nintendo just won't let them, which is really strange.
Maybe we can get Reggie to talk about that. Maybe he'll be a little bit more in depth than the virtual console talk.
Yeah, I'll give you his quote right now. We're blessed to have so many independent developers who want to bring titles to the Nintendo Switch. And while we have nothing to announce at this time, we wish Thomas Happ the best as he continues to develop awesome games for the gaming community. End quote.
On our competitions platforms.
Yeah.
Oh, Nintendo, stop being douchers. But hey, that's it for the news. That's it for the show this week. It was a great show. Lots of great stuff to talk about. We'll have a lot to talk about next week. But gentlemen, where can we find you gaming and tweeting, Mr. Boyce?
As always, I will be not tweeting at Piccolo930. And, of course, that's my my PSN ID, and that's where you can find me on the Switch as well, at Piccolo930.
Boom. Mr. Ayler.
Find me on Twitter, PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, someday Nintendo Network by name at Viper Strike. By the way, just wanted to say, good episode with JD, Ben.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you.
That was great. I enjoyed it. It's 2 hours of Mega Man talk, Mega Man music. It's a great show.
It was a really good show.
Thank you. It was fun. It was fun talking about Mega Man.
You could definitely tell you were very excited about it. And I think that's what happened. Capcom heard that show. That's why we're getting this Legacy Collection number 2, and they know that you want Mega Man X, so you'll get that at some point.
No, the Korean ratings board heard the show, and they were like...
I'm sorry. You're right. We got to get somebody from the Koreans rating board on this show. And just tell us what's coming out at E3. Just like, dude, what games are getting announced.
So what'd you rate today?
Right. What games did you rate today?
Yeah, dude, I need to start bookmarking like the Brazilian ratings board and the Korean ratings board, and like go there on a daily basis. Yeah, we could be breaking news if we just pay attention to those guys.
There you go. Now you just told everybody our plan. Now everyone's gonna do it. Good job, dude.
There you go.
Mr. Mario Kart cheater, where can we find you gaming and tweeting?
Thank you so much for asking. I'm on the Twitter at Bender_guitar. You can find me on PlayStation Network and Nintendo Network at me_Bender, on Xbox Live at meBender82, and as I mentioned, going to be writing a review for Nog, so that should be up on the site this week, so keep an eye out for that.
Awesome. You can find me on Twitter, the Dude 1979, PlayStation Network and Nintendo Network, the Dude 79, and Xbox Live, the Real Dude. Wait, what is it? Yeah, the Real Dude 79. I had it. Visit the website, www.shortpause.com. Follow us on Twitter at The Short Pause. Check out the YouTube channel, Short Pause Gaming. The Tuesday night Indie Spotlight will be there this week, 10 p.m. Boys, what game we playing again?
We are playing Super Rude Bear Resurrection. It's going to be a good time.
That's right. Get there early because it's going to be age-gated by the next day. You might have to be 21 to watch it. It might not be 18. It might be 21. It's going to be that bad. So make sure you go there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Short Pause Gaming. Subscribe to our Twitch channel, Short Pause Live. We're always streaming over there as well, so make sure you're there. Any videos that stream there will be ported over to YouTube, so check that out. You can find this podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, and now Stitcher. So if you have Stitcher, we are on Stitcher, so you can find it there, or you can watch it right here on YouTube. So multiple places for you to watch us or see us. If you like this podcast, if you really like it as much as Frankie loves his Asiago Ranch chicken sandwich, spicy chicken sandwich, or if you like it as much as Ben loves Mega Man, where your pants get real tight thinking about it. Go over to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Write down a nice, sexy review. Keep it clean about why you like the podcast. If you're not quite ready to give us 5 stars, that's cool. Don't go over there. Don't give us a fake 5-star. Come over to the website. Go right into the comments of this podcast. Leave your feedback, suggestions, anything. We need to hear from you. It's the only way this show is going to get better. We need to hear from you. Or if you want to write something really nasty, podcast@shortboss.com. Bender handles all of those emails, so get as nasty as you want. He'll just reply with a simple, "Thank you very much. We appreciate your feedback." He'll kill you with kindness. So multiple ways to get a hold of us. Email us, come to the site, go over to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. We appreciate your support. We need to hear from you. That's the only way the show's going to get better. We do it for you. For Mr. Ayler, for Mr. Boyce, and Mr. Holt, I'm Brent Felsing. Thanks again for listening and watching the Short Pause Gaming Podcast. We'll be back next week. See you then. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Bye-bye.